하나, 둘, 셋. 이걸 누구 코에 붙이라는 건지 모르겠군. 아무리 그래도 큰 누님인데 넉넉하게 10장은 담았어야지.
Say the lobby music in this game is bringing it. It's here. I'm about it. Agreed. Redeem the hydrate. I saw that and I went and got my bottle of water. So thanks for reminding me. My water bottle that's I oftentimes drink out of water bottles on stream, but it must be known. It must be said. It must be known that I don't have like a bajillion water bottles. I reuse these water bottles. Like I have 3 or 4 water bottles that I just reuse constantly. We've got Fuji water coming out of the tap, so it seems nonsensical to buy bottled water. All right, we're back in the toilet, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in the toilet. The length of stream today is going to be determined entirely by how long my Anarchaflin lasts. Because I heard that there's like 50 of these. And I don't know if it's gonna last that long. We'll see, but I don't have a lot of faith in I don't have a lot of faith in 50 fights. I don't think we're gonna hang on that long with the Anakaflin we have. But I did level up this morning while I was doing some stuff, and I intentionally saved all of that Anakaflin that I got from leveling up. So I've got like 190 something to work with this morning, plus 3 boxes of 60. So that should be like at least 50, right? It's 180 and another almost 200. So yeah, we should be somewhere in the ballpark of 400 or so to spend, which gives us 20, which I know is not, you know, 20 plus. What are we at? We're at 20, I think. So that'll take us to like 40, depending. I mean, like if it costs 20 Anakaflin for each encounter, then that's about where we're gonna get to. We'll get close, probably close to the end of this Canto, but it's gonna take some doing. We'll just have to see how long the Anakaflin lasts. These guys just keep running away. I don't know how. You'd figure Mama Otis turning their heads into pulp would end it, but nope. The current level of your party is doo-doo poo-poo butt cheeks. Are you sure you wanna proceed? I'm pretty sure my doo-doo poo-poo butt cheeks team can win. She looks so cool. She really does. She gives me like priest vibes. I love the it looks almost like she's wearing a habit. I love it. Well, that guy's definitely dead. Enter defensive mode.
준비한 기믹은 이게 다인가?
Very good, very good. Rolling our face on the keyboard, gunning them down softly. To battle. There's so many of these. It's funny because I think last Canto and the Canto before, so like 2 and 3, I was, and in both Cantos I was saying like, you know, I'd really like to have more fights. You know, I'd like to have more like combat. And they I feel like they overcorrected a little bit. Like, this is ridiculous. Maybe they were trying to draw it out artificially because, you know, if you have the Anakaflin module or the Anakaflin requirement to do each of these, I'm trying to think like when they released it, it probably drew out the Canto significantly longer, but it is like artificial inflation of like the length of a chapter by just making it take days and days and days to do because of all the Anakaflin you have to spend to do it. That's not fun. That's bad. It's bad game design. As I love to say. Man, he just loves losing clashes. The second he loses a clash, he pops off and does 200 damage.
찾지 못하리.
무차 잠들어. 찢어 놓아주마.
My team feels pretty goddamn beefy at this point. I think we wiped out the entire enemy team so that this guy could come out and get wrecked again.
내 뒤.
Let's see how much we can do to him in a single turn. I think it's going to depend heavily on if we lose any clashes.
찢어 발겨주마.
She's popping off. God damn. Look at you go, girl. Jesus Christ. He's not gonna make it one. He's not gonna make it one round. Otis hadn't even taken her turns yet. Got your ass beat in a fighting game, trying to recover your bruised ego. What fighting game were you playing? Some guy.
나를 계속 고용해라.
This Canto so far is dog water. I mean, the dialogue, notwithstanding, the dialogue has been fine, but the actual like fights, it's like why are these here? All right then, care to give us an explanation, Shreen? Shreen blankly looked at Dongrang, her face wooden as if she'd forgotten how to make expressions. Since when did you join their side? You really are something. You don't even act surprised. Employees that can be brought back to life without the ampules. Huh. This wasn't in the plans. It's not fair. When I asked why you volunteered to follow me at the laboratory, you told me this. 3 of my co-workers died. 5 of us died in that attack. 3 is the number of casualties the Technology Librarian Alliance suffered. Oh, and I checked your network history too. You did what? You're allowed to do that? So they keep telling you it takes a full day and the night after to name all the benefits of the best employee. That stupid best tripe again. I saw that you exchanged tons of mail with Ran even after she left. What was it about? You wouldn't reply to a single one I sent asking to go grab coffee together. I do suppose you've respected Ran a lot ever since you joined. Even your password was set as Miss Yuran. How about that? Wait, is this all true? I don't understand. K-Corp's Research Institutes are the best workplace you could ask for as a scientist. It's a stable job, cares about employee well-being, and has the limelight of the academy. But why would you turn your back on it and collude with those terrorists? I saw you as a researcher with a promising future. You had a long way to go compared to Mr. Dongrang, but still. Yeah, Shreen, why don't you say it yourself? Persona 4 Arena Ultimix. There's a reason they added the option to skip some of these fights. Dongrang saw Shreen's inappropriate emails. Yeah. I've never played the Persona series, and I didn't even know that they were fighting games, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought that they were, like, story games. I guess I was way off on that. Yeah, I mean, like, if the only people that still play the game are diehards, it's like, go back and play, like, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 online. And if you do find a match, you're gonna get obliterated. All of the fighting games have their small limited group of like die-hard players who absolutely love the game and know every single like micro movement that they need to make to turn your character into paste. Oh, it's a spin-off. Gotcha. Why did you decide to collude with them? The tears wouldn't stop. You know what that means, right? We couldn't hear the rest of what Shreen tried to say. At first, it looked like a thin red line was drawn on her body. Then we realized that it wasn't just a line. Shreen? Cut clean in half. Fluid splashed from the severed hemispheres of her brain as if to convey the regeneration ampules won't heal this. Shut your mouth and keep still. Don't even breathe. The people who slew Shreen along with the wall behind her without letting even their footsteps be heard were... Fixers, inanely treading shadows. I'll give you the honor of being called Fits. Fixers who work like that would belong to She Association, an association of fixers that exclusively takes assassination requests. They most likely aren't the ones we could easily fight and defeat. It depends on how much they were paid and what section they're from, but in this case, seeing that only Ryoshi was able to pick up hints of their presence, they most certainly won't be amateurs from sections 5 or 6. Why? Gone already. Ryoshi clicked her tongue and complained about the assassin's retreat, even though I couldn't hear or see them at all. How ridiculous, Tomba in a conflict. She Association mention. We're here. We did it. Senior researcher Ran was Shreen's mentor when she first joined the firm. It looks like their bond lasted much longer than I thought. You see, Dante, we were peers working for the same firm, and there's still collusion and fraternity. Betrayal, division, connivance. It happens in any group of people. I guess it's an inescapable cycle. Not sure there's any point in telling me this. Say, how much do you trust sinners? How much do you trust your sinners? I'm sorry, what? You know, virtually nothing about them, do you? Much like how I couldn't know everything about Shreen, am I wrong? You don't even know which is the one that has a history with me. That's true. Gay, gay, gay. Everyone in these cantos is gay. Listen, a good story contains at least 80% gays, okay? Looks like we're almost there. I can sense the golden bow resonating nearby. It appears we're nearing the target location. That's good. The photos and awards I left should still be there. Classified research documents as well, Mr. Dongrang. Yi-sang picks up an ampule Shreen dropped from the floor and carefully examines it. How kind of you. You didn't have to pick it up. It's the same. This regeneration ampule. Its number abides by the same rule as the decay ampules that was forcibly administered to Miss Ishmael in the earlier scuffle between K-Corp's brawlers and invading machines. That's what's called a serial code. It's a unique string of numbers to categorize ampules. One that starts with an O are original. Wait, why am I explaining this again? Original. Identical to the decay ampule injected to Miss Ishmael, so it suggests that its essence was no different from that of the regeneration ampule. This series of regeneration ampule is, well, how do I say it? It's an undiluted solution. It's not exactly like the commercially available ones. What are you thinking right now? Nothing. When did you first recognize me? Since you showed up. Since you showed us the chickens in captivity. It would have sufficed to give your visitors a cursory tour, yet you insisted on showing your personal laboratory. You're right. I don't know about the others, but I wanted you to see the demonstrable proof of my success. I'm still sad, though. You probably had plenty of time to express your joy of reuniting with this old friend of yours. It is my thought that I no longer have companions by my side. You haven't changed. You've always enjoyed keeping precious things in bottles and watching them. And you were intent on releasing and showing them. The next canto is like explicitly gay. That means it must be good. It's gotta be good. Things that are explicitly gay or over 80% gay just get better. Things get better the more gay that they are. Didst thou say companions? I must say ye sang many reunions with thy companions do await thee in this journey. In an expedition past, the one wearing a tinted eyewear did confront thee. So you already had a reunion to celebrate. No wonder you're being so detached with me. How troubling for you, though. Looks like there'll be another you have to face. What do you mean? I thought everyone had made their escape thanks to Shreen's snitching, but I suppose that wasn't the case. Someone walks in, exuding a suffocatingly thick scent of flowers, holding a bright golden branch in her hand, an object now familiar to me. She had worn a monochrome photograph in her other hand. It's a fine photograph. Only one of this shot remains in this world now. So many old friends, and not one to greet me with delight. Won't you give that picture back to me? It may not look like it, but it's a cherished treasure of mine. Mr. Dongrang, you shouldn't get closer to her. It's dangerous. All troops, do not carelessly approach her. The golden bow may be destroyed. I agree with it. Faust? God damn it. Faust will come up with a way to retrieve it in no time.
Why do we keep running into problems that's probably yourself? This is why infuriating.
Everyone yells and shouts with their own goal in mind. Regardless of the noise, the person with the golden bow steadily walks this way. However, instead of going for Dongrang, that piquant and fragrant smell made me feel as though the ground was sinking. She plunged the golden bow in her hand into Yi-sang's chest, and Yi-sang collapsed on the ground. I didn't think you would end up choosing him before my eyes. Yi-sang! You can have this back. A photograph is nothing more than a taxidermied moment. Even while drenched in blood, the golden bow still glows, contrasting the golden dazzle. The faded monochrome photograph slowly falls to the floor. Another dong. There's so many dongs. And they're all dong dong bing bong ping pong dong wang. Thinking back to those days. Wait, is this Yi Sang? Thinking back to those days, I felt as though I had been afloat all that time then. Yes, I was enduring life with the feeling of flying in the sky. Thus, I had been living without knowing for certain if I truly had wings or if it was a mere half-wit. Between two dogs. Perfect. Yi Sang, did you stay up all night working on your research again? I keep telling you, skipping sleep will get you killed. He's something else. Remember how he'd forget to eat or sleep when he got into something? He can't be helped. Dong back. Dong bed. So many dongs. Dong back. So, what do you plan to show us at this Illuminators conference? I can't help but look forward to something you've been working on tirelessly in your room. This time, I have made something I call the mirror. Thus, it has always remained unclear, unsure if I regret that day or reminisce it fondly. Sang! Yi Sang, you alright? Yi Sang's eyes slowly opened. Their lives are so easily light. So easily recoverable. Their lives are so easily light? Their lives are so easily light. So easily recoverable. I see. You have reversed my death, as you always do. A flash of light burst out of the golden bow right as it pierced his chest, blinding everyone for a moment, and Dong Baek had disappeared in the meantime. The smiles the people in the photograph made at each other were nowhere to be seen now, and Dong Ran cast his eyes into emptiness, reviewing the situation we got into. I'm sure Dong Baek's plan was to stab me. Shreen and Ran probably told her that I brought help from the outside, but she couldn't have known that Yi Sang would be one of them. Ah, so you've brought Yi Sang here on purpose. Are you asking if I invited him as a meat shield knowing that I'd be ambushed? As excellent as my ability to predict courses of events is, I'm no prophet. Yi Sang invented mirrors. Check this shit out, I invented a mirror. I think it's something else. Either way, things went in our favor. The assault was clearly made with intent to kill. What did you just... You can't be serious. A colleague of ours got stabbed to death for your boss and you're talking like everything went well. It's not our responsibility to compensate for any injuries, is it? If that has left psychological scars, you're free to demand compensation, but please know that the procedures will be rather complex. No, my problem is with how you're describing this whole... Leave the matter there. I do not feel an ounce of pain, so you have no need to pursue this matter further. When I turn the clock, every consequence is reversed. Torn clothing, bloodied stains, even the smallest scars are undone. But that doesn't make the cause of those damages something that never happened, which is why I have to ask. Are you sure you're okay, Yi Sang? Yi Sang shut down my last attempt to inquire with a simple, yes, yes. So I couldn't try again until now. But that man named Gubo had no problem raising his weapon against Yi Sang while claiming to be his compatriot. I see. You must have been rather curious. This time, he didn't seem to have any intent to dodge my question. I was once part of an organization named the League of Nine. Gubo, Dongrang, Dongbak, the one who stabbed my chest. Those faces you have seen were mere members of it as well, manager. However, it disbanded and scattered one day. Each of us was flown away into our own path. That was all there was to it. Oh, what feels like your story is missing a ton of details, you know? You broke up because things happened and now you're pointing knives at each other? Like, is that it? Or maybe they were never friends at all. It was no more than a moment. I believe my testimony to be apt for a time as transient as that. He started talking a lot. He hasn't turned into a chatterbox just yet, but I had the feeling that he'd soon become more talkative. I was reminded of Faust mentioning once that he was never really the quiet sort. Are you really sure you're okay, Yi Sang? I have always been okay. If that was his true nature, then that might not be a bad thing. Still, my feelings say that I should care for his well-being. From your recent memory, have you had any particularly unhappy or painful moments or something like that? You are devoting an unusual degree of attention to me today. While it does not please me, I will give you an answer, since your demeanor is quite unlike the usual. If I were to choose one, the happiest occasion in recent memory would be when we held an Illuminators conference. And the most hopeless one would be at the forest where I first met you. The very moment my life resumed, when I was certain that it had ended there, another such moment is now. I am once again realizing that this regeneration is ever so flawless, unchanging. I hope that sates your curiosity. Yi Sang's like, I just want to die. Now, should we not be on our way? I see a long road ahead of us. As he walked ahead, I could almost see it. Although the wound was perfectly erased, there was still a hole in his chest, wide open with no signs of mending. I was really excited when I thought I was gonna die. It was blissful, in fact. I really, really wanted to die. But you brought me back, you son of a bitch. Or something like that. Oh dear. It seems a radio communication device was installed in this branch. Well, him over there, he wrote me into this. Well, that guy over there, you son of a bitch. It seems like a radio communication device was installed in this branch. His phone was intensely vibrating, as though the calls set it on fire. Honey, that's not a phone. Yes, I understand. I'll return right away. It seems the laboratory has been raided again. There are apparently more terrorists this time. When a fiercer... God damn. That yawn just smacked me out of nowhere, right in the face. When a fiercer offense than before. So the commotion earlier was a distraction to keep us here? This could have easily been prevented if it weren't for your collusion. Otis lashes out in frustration. It does feel rather strange. I think this is the first time we're going through a lobotomy court branch without facing a single abnormality. That's true indeed. Those we did see were resting still in their eggs.
The bounders from techno liberation whatever must have got some way to put abnormalities in the eggs without lifting a hand, eh?
Though we will have... God damn it. I keep mixing the nerd voice and the southern voice.
We'll have to see the details with our own eyes if they really do have the technology to revert abnormalities into their inactive forms.
They're both nerds.
It's certainly that they possess the technologies to achieve more.
Well, sounds like you've got to look out. Dongrang Bud, Mr. Faust isn't one to say ominous stuff for nothing, you know. It'll work out somehow. In our group is K-Corp's most successful researcher, and better yet, 2 of the greatest geniuses in the city. Yi Sang and Faust, big brain. Big Dong is the only one that could pull off a Chad voice, but he's still part of the League of Nerds. I just love that you're calling him Big Dong. It's fantastic. As soon as we got back to the lobby, we could see panic-struck employees before Dongrang and Samjo. Mr. Dongrang, a moment please. You've all turned pale. Pardon me for a moment. The situation looks pretty tense. It's kind of awkward to stand still like this. As I meandered into the lobby, murmuring meaningless things to myself, Don Quixote scuttled to a shelf. What manner of books are these? The pictures glitter brightly. Those are kids' books. Sounding a merry hum, she picked up a storybook. I peeked at the book she opened. Yi Sang also turned his gaze towards the book, possibly bothered by something about it. Soon a golden haze unfolded. Once upon a time, when everyone had their heads down and eyes fixed on the ground, there was a person who looked up into the sky. In their eyes were twinkling stars. Connecting the nameless stars no one else would look at, the person gave them names and made up stories for them they liked. Stories are like skeins of thread without an end. They're drawn and woven together in an effort to find meaning from meaninglessness. All kinds of stories in the world, happy and sad, circled in the night sky. Then one day, the person's family fell deeply sick, their life nearing its end. Like any other day, the person spoke into the sky about the grief that they felt. And then, a droplet of water fell into the person's head. Looking up, the person found the constellation talking to them. Dear person who named me and gave me a story, thanks to you, I was cast onto the land and pushed by the flow of time, feeling the world in full. Did you know that stars can grant wishes? The tears I shed will clear you of your pain. Afterward, a rain fell on the world for a day and a half. Everyone caught in the rain was all healed up. The person's ill family recovered in health too. Since then, the person and their family, as well as all the residents of the city, have looked up at the sky and talked about happiness every night. That explains it. I read that Nest K has a custom of walking outside without an umbrella to stand in the rain on the night of a certain month every year. Don't tell me. Am I alone in this again? Have none of you checked up on the pamphlet guide to K-Corp's Nest and Backstreets until now? No one? Ishmael's a nerd too. I love it. Oh, that thing. I used mine to whack some bugs, so I gotta get a new one. Does this look like the time to be joking around, Rhodia? Rhodia didn't look like she was joking at all, but Ishmael seemed unaware of it. By the way, that story, it seems familiar to what the regeneration ampule does, doesn't it? That rain that restores you to health? Yeah, so you trying to say it was made from raindrops by stars? Wait, wasn't it nanobots and not watery stuff in the first place? What do you think, Faust?
I'm a woman of science. I prefer judgment based on facts over metaphors. This so-called analysis and interpretation of stars and clouds might be an area Yi Sang is more familiar with. He's a researcher like me, but we're not quite the same.
We'd better hurry. The situation seems pretty serious. I hear they managed to storm all the way into the rooms where experiments are conducted this time. Does this place not seem too peaceful for such a dire predicament? I see nary a man running away. It does appear that there's been an excavation order. Excavation order, Jesus Christ. Evacuation order. However, as you witnessed last time, this is not the first emergency that occurred this week. They might be worried that evacuating again could disrupt the 70-hour workweek policy. 70-hour workweek policy. Working in this kind of place is not easy, huh? I don't get it. How was this attack possible? It didn't seem like a structure that allowed intruders to sneak into the room undetected. We're running short on time, so we'll explain as we go up. Object. Give one reason we should go with you. Indeed, the contract has been fulfilled. That's true, but as much as I want to give the boat to you, it's been taken before our eyes. Trashes. Is this really right? Hey, what does the contract exactly say? I couldn't say. I'm not all too knowledgeable when it comes to legal matters. Instead of arguing back as usual, Samjo suddenly got busy wiping his glasses. S.A. Mr. Samjo, she wants answers. S.A. Samjo, she says she'll assail you this time. Wrong, I said I'll assail him right now. This is an emergency, You should go upstairs, quickly. Let's hurry in now. Let's hurry along now, Ryoshu. I'll show sangria, I swear it. She's so fucking weird. Samjo urgently sent us upstairs. The hallway that was clean and calm hours ago is now turned into complete mayhem, filled with screams and fleeing people. A researcher was crying and clinging to someone who appeared to be a Liberation Alliance member. Help me, Mr. Dongrang. Please save me. My staff member is begging for help. Wouldn't you consider letting them go? If it is intelligence you want, I'll give it to you. We were planning to go out for a staff dinner tomorrow, and the restaurant we booked serves such delicious meat. It'd be rather unfortunate if the smell awaiting us tomorrow came from incense sticks at a funeral instead of meat on a grill. Wouldn't you agree? Intelligence? We have no need for it.
You walking in unarmed now? What happened to your robots that you did fighting for you with?
We have no need to bring our robots either. I see plenty of useful looking ones here. Are you trying to... We were ordered to excise We were ordered to excise terrorists. Target all parts. We're outnumbered by them by... We are outnumbered them? We outnumber them by a wide margin. It might be a little unfair, but it seems like we won't have any trouble beating them. Miss Ran's expertise was hijacking machines. She was more experienced in hacking than fighting. Welcome. Here at K-Corp, we value your safety above all else. Huh? Wait, what's? For everyone's safety, deserters attempting to flee from battle will be injected with a decay ampule according to regulatory rules. The ampule will be launched if you leave the 120-meter radius of the combat area. You are 49 meters away from the perimeter. Shoot. If you do not attack the enemy within 5 seconds, the decay ampule will be administered. According to regulatory rules, you have 4 seconds remaining. Wait, are we the enemy now? Damn it, I've got no choice. Why? I don't want to get hit by the decay ampule. I want to live. Current status, no deserters detected. All status green. Please stand in line for regeneration ampules. I see. They're weighing their lives with ours, not unlike what we do. Please permit us to engage. Got it. cut him down, gun him down, kill the robot, slice him to bits. I'm curious if we do like, I guess we can't choose our targets. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm curious, like if we kill the robot, will they just like chill? I guess not, because this ain't that kind of fight.
내 안에 갇혀 죽어라.
태풍.
불길 속으로. 그 오늘의
Jesus Christ. He comes out of nowhere, right? Like I don't ever expect Sinclair to come out and do like damage that gets like a big number at the bottom left, but he comes out and just does like 200 damage out of nowhere, and I'm just like, I'm surprised every time, but it's a pleasant experience. Like, goddamn, Sinclair, you are cooking right now.
그쯤 해줬으니 포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군. 태풍.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Negative coins are good. Yeah, negative coins are good specifically for that Sinclair build.
어때 딸? 엄마밖에 없지? 분명을 밝혀 앞길을 열어라.
불길 속으로.
내 뒤. 단수가 이어졌다면.
불길 속으로.
There he goes again, popping off.
떼어내주지.
192 damage. Look at him go. Does damage increase as you level up, or does leveling just increase your HP?
내 뒤.
I haven't really paid much attention to like the bonuses that I get from leveling, because like I don't level up from like just playing the game. We've got to do EXP tickets. It increases offensive level, which does increase damage. Oh, okay. And 60 is the cap, right? So that would make sense that like right now I might be doing like 180 damage, but like if I leveled them up to like max level, he'd be doing significantly more damage, right?
그렇겠죠? 볼 것도 없이 처형이군.
That's cool.
거긴 기준이다.
And Claire doesn't have as many damage modifiers as modern IDs, but he does a shitload up front due to how negative coins work. Okay. I mean, I know that he's not like, you know, top category or whatever, but like he does, I mean, like in my team right now with the characters that I have available and like the enemies that I'm fighting, he's doing really good shit. I probably wouldn't invest like my XP tickets in him, because I know that he's not like he doesn't, I mean, from everything that I understand, he doesn't scale quite as hard as some of the other characters. Like I think it would probably be a decent, like a reasonable thing to do now that I have like 5 solid IDs that I can use. I think it would be pretty reasonable for me to just dump all of my XP tickets into Otis, because I know that Otis is like my best ID. Y'all have told me that Ryoshu that I have is really good. When I looked at a tier list, which I usually don't do this kind of stuff, but whenever I looked at a tier list, I saw that the Ryoshu was a S, like an S plus or whatever. It was like slightly better than the other S ranks, but not quite as good as the SS or the SSS. And the Otis one that I have is like one of 3 IDs that are like in a completely separate category all by themselves at the top. Like OPAF is what I mean. I'm just gonna, let's just do that. We're just gonna level her up. Is 40 the max? I guess 40 is the max right now for me. So it increases right now it looks like we're getting an increase to our HP and our defense level. Tier lists in this game are funny because there are some that it really depends on what you're asking. That's fair. Yeah, we're just gonna put Otis to level 40. And I'll save the rest of the tickets for whenever we move on to the next cap or whatever, and I'm able to put more levels into Otis. I'll probably just keep pumping Otis with levels. One of the strongest Yi-Sang IDs is strong specifically because he kills himself for a wacky benefit. So I have no idea if that counts as good.
Oh, I take back what I said about you being spineless whips. I'm surprised you didn't run away while we were scrapping. You're so dead now, bunch of book smart saws who think these things are my mortality.
Fair point, which is why we brought something new from the Lobotomy Corp branch. The hell is that guy cooking with? He's got a bunch of tags all over him. Oh, those are that's ego gear. Bog. They're using the Lobotomy Corp ego gear. That's really cool. I love that. I love callbacks to previous games, straight up. The weapons that they're using are ego weapons as well. That's so fun. Genuinely kind of making me nostalgic for Lobotomy Corporation. I'm looking back now at Lobotomy Corporation. It was so much fun. Library of Ruina was a very different experience. Something less, like, something I would have been less likely to play by myself. But Lobotomy Corp is a kind of management simulator game that I would probably have played by myself. I probably would have chosen it if given the right circumstances. And Limbus Companies, it's a phone game. What are you gonna do? The story's been fun so far, but like it's a phone game. It has phone game mechanics. There's nothing to get around it. Isn't something off about this? Was ego something you could keep on all the time and use whenever you like that? Because I didn't know you could do that. We all know ego isn't some kind of magic tool. It's a lot of work. Just keeping my sanity from tumbling over. Besides, didn't someone say that those people all used to be lab workers? How is it possible for them to use ego better than we do? This is not a matter of proficiency in battle. They must have employed some other trick. There's one possibility in mind. If they reduce abnormalities to an ovate form and figured out a way to materialize their ego, the way that Lobotomy Corporation did, in other words, repeatedly researched the conditions of corrosion and trained themselves to repress it utilizing the Quillpuff the turrets emitted by the Golden Bow, it could be possible to use ego well without being affected by corrosion, even after a short period. What they're using are tools, compressed and repressed into general utility. Does that mean Lobotomy Corporation did the same? Yes, rather than fixers, regular employees were given the ego to work with. Of course, what we have right now isn't as refined as what the Wing used to have. Wait, hold on. If you're saying they can do that with the help of the Golden Bow's deterrence power, that means it's nearby. Must be, along with Dongbek, who has it in her hands. I cannot help but question the security at this facility. The leader of the terrorists is freely roaming in your building, and not once has her presence been reported. As much as I'd like to object, I don't have much I can say. I didn't expect them to break in so easily. The Technology Liberation Alliance is formed by former researchers of renowned firms, after all. I see. So they were villains of bright minds. But I must wonder, can individuals of bright minds turn to villainy? What a bewildering conundrum. Don't let them fascinate you. If they were so wise, they would have quit their enviable jobs at large firms for a terrorist. They wouldn't have quit their enviable jobs at large firms for a terrorist organization in the first place. I don't be so sure about that, Sam Joe. Straight up. Maybe it wasn't the life they wanted. LobCorp fun, Pepe laugh. You know, everything, I was looking at my list of games and I was like, I had sorted them by the rating that I had given them at the time, and I kind of went back and was just poking around. And it's funny, like in retrospect, what I think was a good experience versus what I think was a bad experience. Going back and being like, wait, why did I give this game a 1-star rating? I mean, no, I think Callisto Protocol is the lowest rated game on my entire list of games that I've played, and that makes sense. It was really bad. It was not only incredibly derivative, but worse in every single marketable way, markable in every single way, compared to what it was being derived from. But I was just kind of looking back, like, wait a second, was this game really like a 4.5 experience? And I was like, yeah, the state of mind I was at whenever I finished it, the time that I played it, there's so many factors that play into like how we remember how good a game was. But yeah, I'd say Lobotomy Corporation was a 4 to a 4.5, and I'd say Library of Ruina was a 5. Library of Ruina was just a very polished and very fun experience, and the story payoff in the end, 150 million% worth it. It was so good. I loved that. Right now, I think I'd probably give this game, like, if I had to rate it right now, we're not there yet, obviously. I've still got a lot of story to cook with, but I'd probably give this, like, it would score just slightly above normal, above average. For a phone game, like, if we're in the category of phone games, it's one of the best phone games I've ever played. But automatically, as a phone game, it gets docked, like, 2 points for being a phone game and having all of the monetization schemes that are inside phone games. So that gives it it's like a 3. It's a 3. Not bad. Not bad. There are lots of games I've really enjoyed that were 3s. This is troubling. I don't mind other locations, but if that place were to be attacked, it'll cause a major setback. Mr. Dongrang, you have an urgent call from Director Alfonso. Oh boy, she's about to give me a talking to. Can't you take the call for me, Samjo? Being a phone game is like the golden snitch, except you just lose automatically. I mean, I think you're making a reference to Quidditch, right? Like the golden snitch is like you like the entire game doesn't matter. The game is actually just chase the golden snitch. I'm confused about how that applies to this particular game. I don't get it. Oh well, I'm not getting away from this. Pardon me for a second. While Dongrang was away, we spotted an employee who hadn't evacuated across the hallway, nervously wandering. That lab coat is way too big for her. Watch closely, Executive Manager. If you see a lackey snooping around like that in the middle of danger, it most likely means they've found someone with useful information. It would be wise to make good use of them. Hey, we are agents from a subcontracting firm here to deal with the commotion. What's going on? I've been looking for Miss Shreen, but I can't find her anywhere. I need to tell her to evacuate. She's left her computer on. Where could she be? Actually, she's... Alright, we'll find her. You evacuate first. Thank you. Now, while the terrorist's informant has been removed, the staff is still in a muddle, and her computer is left on. We're in a complete tactical advantage. It didn't even cost us any strength. Probably thanks to the pride in this achievement, Otis sounded much more excited than usual, but no one else seemed to care. The computer Shreen used, its password was Miss Ron, right? We were told she was in close relations with Ron, exchanging lots of messages. If we're lucky, we might find a pending email or some other clue on her computer. It should hopefully give us some insight into the Technology Liberation Alliance, too. You're quick to understand. That was very much expected of my executive manager. Alright, good. The problem is how we're gonna sneak into the office. Who on our team is gonna walk in there, bold-faced, and get it done without rousing suspicion? If I had to choose a sinner who can keep a still face and avoid suspicion, give this humble knight one more chance and I shall succeed. Marisol, I think you can handle it. As long as you command. Yep, I'm counting on you. Don Quixote, the most loud and obnoxious sinner in the entire party, is like, I'll do the stealth mission. I bought some cheap sparkling water without reading the flavor. What flavor is it? Is it dog water? Strawberry hibiscus. That's a very interesting flavor combination. How is it? Is it good? My general sense is hibiscus needs sugar. The flavor is a bit like bitter, I think. Am I remembering that correctly? I've had hibiscus tea. I've never had strawberry tea though. It's okay. I generally don't go for flavored water. I prefer just regular old tap water.
거긴 킬존이다.
It tastes a bit like fake sugar.
배품.
Like it tastes like it was made in a lab. That's unfortunate.
어땠다?
16.
엄마밖에 없지?
Time to spend one of those boxes. We're pressing on until we run out of anacophylline. We're gonna keep pushing until we run completely out of anacophylline today. And I think I'm gonna hit a level. So I think we should be fine. We should have plenty. 73,000 more fights to go. I think so. I'd assume it was grapefruit.
배품.
A lot of grapefruits are not pink though.
불길 속
What, like, isn't there like an entire category of grapefruits that are just like a muted yellow, like lemon, but like more like pale, not so strong yellow, but like more pale, like what you would imagine lemonade color or lemon zest or lemon color, but then the inside of the grapefruit is like a lemon but more pale. Yeah, I know the inside on a lot of grapefruits is pink, but the inside of like a whole other category of grapefruit, sparkling waters, I usually get is pink grapefruit. Well, that's context that I didn't know. Now that I know, that's half of the battle is done for me.
내 뒤로.
Yeah, that would make sense if you assumed it was grapefruit. Most of the, maybe it's a Japan thing. Pink grapefruit isn't super popular out here. Like all the grapefruit drinks that I've gotten out here have been with the like yellow grapefruit. Bougie with your sparkling water.
엄마밖에 없지?
I wonder how long it's going to take for me to get enough photographs to get my my Honglu, my Hong boy, my Hong boo.
닭봉참.
But shit, it was 99 cents.
내 뒤로.
You mean the sparkling water was 99 cents?
8권. 차단.
I don't know what the conversion rate is between Canadian dollars to US dollars.
내 뒤로. 그럼 끝이다.
For a liter of hibiscus. I mean, for a liter, that's not bad. Seems pretty decent. Sparkling water, though, I think it's like a hyakuen, which is around what is that, like 70 some odd cents, 70 some odd US dollars, 70 not $70, 70 US cents for a liter of sparkling water here in Japan. And in most, like, if you go to the convenience store, it's going to be more expensive because there's always the konbini tax. But 99 cents is 113 yen. Okay. Yeah, so yours, I think yours is yeah, that would be $1 trillion. This conversion rate is insane. If we're talking about like the, what is it? I can't remember what. There's a country in Africa that did a thing where they just started printing out money, and then, you know, it grew completely out of hand. It's not Uganda, is it? They have like, I think they have like a literal $1 trillion bill or something. I've returned. There was one message in Shreen's mailbox that was deemed worth reading. Zimbabwe? Is that it? That might be it. I remember there's like a $1 trillion bill at a country in Africa. I just can't remember what it was. They didn't like read how inflation works. The environment did not permit me to print it out, so I memorized the mail's content. I hope you're doing well, Miss Ran. Open parentheses, star, tier, swung, dash, carre, close parentheses. You can skip those parts. Understood. I will then dispense with punctuation marks that do not appear important. I've been trying to figure out if what you said was really true, but that sucker is making it hard. I've been promoted to team manager too, but I wasn't let in just because I didn't win that silly best award. And he's now recruiting collaborators from the outside, probably to help with whatever he's plotting. I heard they're from a newly found company and I haven't checked what kind of people they are yet. I bet they're all haughty and arrogant, just like their client. Still, the plan will proceed as intended. We'll succeed and return to a glorious past. To tell you the truth, my most dazzling memory was when I first met you after joining the company. But our goal is more ambitious than that, so let's promise to meet again there. In a past where no technologies existed, allowing everything that existed to shine brighter. There, chickens will be free to fly over the meadows, their wings uncut. Chickens can't fly! When a person loses their arm, we'll comfort them and learn how to live together, even if an arm is missing. We may not be able to enjoy sumptuous feasts or conveniences of modern civilization, and we won't have nearly as many resources at our disposal. In that vastness, we'll be free to walk all day. Oh, I'm planning to bring fixers from the outside for a plan. My juniors have gotten used to the ampules. If rapid development can only be achieved by means that cause pain and suffering to people, then I'm willing to give up on all the prosperity it brings. Me when I eat McDonald's, but I need a $1 quintillion bill. Subtle reference to the fact that their goal is fucking impossible. Yeah, I mean, they're like, it's one thing to be like, hey, this technology is actually it's like the W Corp, the warp train, right? It's like learning the truth about how the singularity actually works, and then fighting to like stop use of that singularity for specifically people, right? Like using that on inanimate objects should be fine, or having people, if you're gonna put people through that, have them be unconscious for the entire duration of it. That would be fine. Put the toothpaste back in the tube, Pog. This kind of shit, like their goals are not really obtainable. I agree with you 100%. That's all I have to say now. Yours in haste. Star, heart, heart, heart.
You don't have to read all that.
There's a possibility that it may have been a sequence or cipher, so I deemed it responsible. So I deemed it reasonable to read it out and let the manager determine its significance, rather than mull over whether I should dispense with it and discount the possibility that it may be necessary information. Good work. How ironic. I guess it's fortunate for her that she didn't get to see Liberation Alliance members murdering researchers without mercy. She probably believed she was working for a noble cause to end violence until the end of her life. But I agree, it was probably best for her that she died holding on to that belief. Marisol understands the gayness of this email is very important to the plot. It's true. I genuinely, Marisol is in like my top 4 my top 4 sinners so far. I really appreciate him. He's professional. He's not unkind. He seems to be like relatively thoughtful, and just like a backbone. He seems like a strong, stable figure in the series. Then learn how to say his name. Holy shit. I'm being shamed. Would you like to educate me, Putty? Instead of what is it? Marisu? Marisu? Are you sure it's not? Are you sure it's not Mary Salt? Oh, that's not Putty. Wait, that is Putty. What the hell? Weird. Your name is like dark purple on my chat screen, and then it switches to light purple, so now I can actually read it. I assumed it was you, but yeah. Is it like merci? Merci. 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 Like that? It's like that? I do it like that, right? Did I do it? Mer... Right? Merso? Merso. Like merman, the first bit is mer, and then the next one is so. Merso. Marisol. I still like Marisol better. But Merso. Merso. I played Claire Obscure, so they wanted his name to be pronounced Merso. Why is his name not just Merso? Curse you, friends. Holy shit. I could fucking do a do a French, a really, really bad French accent. You have the excuse of being new to the game. I also have the excuse of never going onto the wiki or the Reddit ever. So I'm not privy to all of the information. Pretty sure it's just a normal French name. That makes sense. That poor guy. He got a healing ampule and then got put inside of a coffin. There are people who've been Limbus YouTubers for years and still say it wrong. I hate them. I'm just kind of blown that there's like a whole category of YouTubers that are just Limbus YouTubers. That's mind-blowing to me. Of course I'm not surprised, but like the fact that there is a whole category of people who just play Limbus and that they just make YouTube videos about Limbus kind of blows my mind. I'm blown. Categorize me in the current state, in my current state, as #blown. I would just do what Saffron Olive does and not give a fuck. I swear he mispronounces Magic the Gathering card names wrong on purpose to rage bait. They report of every new ID or update. That makes sense. I guess, you know, like I played, so I played like Destiny 2, and I had a very long stint in World of Warcraft. And I suppose like this, like any other game that is like a service, like game as a service, is going to have, you know, a community that builds up around it. And inside that community, you're going to have people who are going to be producing regular content just for that particular game. I've 100%ed, I finished, there was like 4 achievements left over in like several games that I've finished this week. I have like 4 different games that I've 100%ed this week. So I guess for me, it's just like, it's hard for me to like switch gears real quick and be like, oh yeah, that's right, there are still people who play like one game, that's their game, and they love that shit, and that's like the only game that they play. "900 comments calling me an idiot?" Or are you in reference to something else? Because I don't think I'll ever get 900 comments. Oh no, YouTubers. I mean, it could be. You know, I feel like if you're an American, I feel like you just by default tend to mispronounce things. It's just it's a curse. To battle. When a YouTuber pronounces a word wrong, they're gonna have 870,000 comments telling them how to say it right. And they will read some of those comments and be like, I don't care. Or be like, holy shit, my metrics jumped for this video. I need to always say the word wrong. I don't blame the YouTuber for mispronouncing the word. I blame the commenters for all jumping in and doing the comments, because you're just boosting my paycheck relies on it. It's true, that's true. I did my best to ignore the fierce glare at my clock from below. I noticed a group of staff walking this way, carrying an imposing aura, unlike any other K-Corp employee we've met. Ah, you must be K-Corp staff. Hey, I saw some researchers that haven't evacuated over there. Class 3 excision staff. They ignored our, or Gregor's rather, words and proceeded upstairs. They aren't here to rescue anyone. Their role is eliminating intruders and keeping classified technology secure. Dongrang interjected like he's always been here. I suppose he got done with the call. I suppose he's got done with the call. Okay. I suppose he's got done with the call. What? Rescuing is left to class 1 staff. Is class 1 not the highest level an employee can reach? Precisely, like grade 1 is for fixers? Verily, 'tis no wonder that they are the noblest. Sorry, in this nest, class 1 is the lowest level, and higher numbers indicate better ranks. What? Even still, none can be too lordly or lowly to save lives, so how can the roles be divided? Bigger is better for numbers and riches alike, isn't that right? The conversation dragged on for a bit, but there's nothing to worry about. I've acquired the permission.
Permission for what?
Normally, it seems to require a bunch of paperwork as well, but since we're in an emergency, let's skip the procedures that we can. Should be fine, right, Samjo? Well, I believe it could be managed with 3 days and a half of working on the report overtime, and strictly speaking, the problem already began when you brought them to your lab without any report.
Just tell us what.
Just tell us what the permission's about first. It would seem that Dongbak has headed that way. The screening room. The security procedures for entering that place can be extremely convoluted. Screening room? That name doesn't give a very clear idea of what it's about. Wonder why the security is so tight about it? It's at the very top of the building. There are 2 ways to make something inaccessible. Put it underground, or at the highest point. We need to be given Limbus for every typo. I'm gonna need every typo that I find to be accompanied by a 700 lunacy injection into my account. Put the lunacy in the bag. This guy injects Mountain Dew straight into his veins. Look at the aura. Oh yeah, that guy was farming for sure. I loved his little mech suit. I was wondering like this entire time like why do they have like riot troops? But then I just remembered like, oh, that suit that guy is wearing is probably worth more than the lives of, you know, a score of the lower staff who are wearing Riot Man suits and getting injected by bots on the side. Did you notice that the city is shaped like a rose? Honglu has a Mountain Dew ID. That's funny. And I did notice that the city was shaped like a rose. I mean, the lunacy rose thing kind of, you know, I didn't really put it together, like that the lunacy rose thing and the shape of the city. But, yeah, I think when the game was first installing, or rather failing to install, I was sitting there looking at the shape of the city for a while. And it's also colored red, I believe. Isn't it both? Knowing the city, the armor is purely for cosmetic aura farming, and they have suits underneath that give plus 1,000 protection stats. It's like a brain to me. You're probably right. Why can't it be both? Why can't it be a rose with a brain? Why can't it be a rose that produces a brain petal? You've been bullied by Reddit and you've been bullied into playing the game a certain way. That's got me making this face. It's no bueno. No bueno.
불로 정화하고
You play however you want
깨끗한
to,
세계를 세우라.
but, 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 you know, fuck those guys.
내 뒤.
I don't know, the modules, as far as I'm concerned, are free. Doing the dailies right now is important for me because I need the EXP tickets and I need the XP tickets and I need the threads. So, whereas the mirror dungeons are boring as fuck and I don't want to do them. I do 3 as soon as the weekly rewards have reset, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I mean, the like doing mirror dungeons, like pushing content in mirror dungeons is a thing, right? That's like a thing that you guys are doing, and there's a reason you guys are pushing levels in mirror dungeons. But the person who got me into the series, Necro, has told me multiple times that he hates mirror dungeons or doesn't particularly care for mirror dungeons, and that you generally speaking don't don't push levels in mirror dungeons. Is that accurate, Necro, or am I misrepresenting? I generally default to Necro because Necro has been playing games with me for years now and knows what I can tolerate and what I don't like about games. And I've been told both in Library, Limbus, Inscription, Slay the Princess, like all of the games that we've like played together or he's recommended to me, he knows the shit that annoys me and the shit that I don't like, and he's just like, yeah, you don't have to do that. I don't like that. Don't do that. You don't have to do that. And I get the general vibe that like mirror dungeons, I don't have to do that. Like I can go and I can do the content to get the lunacy. The weekly or the weeklies to get the lunacy, but after I've gotten the lunacy for the week, I don't have to push that. Oh yeah, the rose is a brain. That's neat. Kind of. I would say kind of. It takes the outward shape of a brain, but that's not what the brain looks like in the interior. Not to actually you or anything. Not to get all Faustian on you, but that's not what that looks like. I'm going to the window. I'm gonna just check how many photographs I have right now. Oh, perfect. Because we're gonna continue getting photos, why not get 40% more photos?
뛰어봤자 벼룩이라니까요.
딸.
Perfect. And now he's going to give us a bonus, right? So if we go to our Inferno and we continue moving on here, that's a 40. Yeah, we get a plus 40% and plus 40%. Perfect. Nice. Do I have to bring him into the thing in order to get the bonus?
저를 부르셨다는 건
Max
여기가
bonus.
도망쳤군요.
Do I have to bring him in to get the bonus? Okay. Then I shall.
주세 게시할게요.
We got an I don't think so and an I think you do. Since we're kind of like we're beating the ever-loving shit out of everything we run into. Look at you, you can smell what I'm cooking. Any excuse to kick him off the team. I still don't like him. He hasn't redeemed himself yet, so. As you might have seen earlier, that's Marley. In fact, I met him once at a job interview for B Corp. Did he just say once, twice? Hang on a second. Am I like crazy? As you might have seen earlier, that's Merrill. In fact, I met him once at a job interview for B Corp. Once. Put my lunacy in the bag. 700 lunacy. Give it to me. That's my you've typo. You made me read that. You spent my life reading a typo. Really, Samjo, you applied for B Corp. They've made millions of dollars off of this game. Stop that. Fix your typos, please. Of course, K Corp was my primary choice. Translators must have playtested appalling. Couldn't begin to describe their state. Oh dear, pardon me. I need to use the restroom. Samjo turned pale and ran, covering his mouth with a hand. Our researchers couldn't have been able to fight back at all. K-Corp's employees didn't seem to have a problem with bludgeoning my colleagues, who didn't so much as swing a fist either. We're looking at your boss. Where is she? We're looking for your boss. Where is she? What I want to know is how you're still alive.
Oh, you mean those golden murder machines? They were anything we couldn't deal with. The bomb did hurt a bit though.
No, that bomb wasn't meant for annihilation. It was a means. There's been an unexpected variable to Ran and Shreen's plan. What are you? Faust broke her silence.
Even if you were to return to an age without technology, you won't find the peace you seek. Once accustomed to the luxury brought by technology, people won't be able to withstand life in the past. Think of the time when trips to the back streets were trending among the rich. They only use the experience to take another look at their own lives and be thankful for everything they have. Hardly any would live in a less opulent era given the opportunity.
And I don't like talkative people. Not fond of explaining things to you either.
I'm not the talkative sort.
What did you just say, Faust? Are you joking? Are you fucking with me? Are you joking? I think she's...
Oh god. I'm not really the talkative sort. But hold my beer. And I don't require explanations in any field. I was simply curious to know the difference in perspectives.
None of us takes warp trains. We don't eat the meat the city has to offer either. When you know the truth, you wouldn't even consider something as shallow as backstreets trips. The elders in my family, who must know even greater things than I do, didn't have any problem using them though. The masses are ignorant. They won't believe it, even if you show it to before their eyes.
And this is your conclusion? That remove everything and make them live in an empty world?
You wouldn't get...
No, I think I'll get it just fine. There are plenty of blighters out there who don't get you if you talk nicely. They only start empathizing with the relation after you get a couple of bruises and scars on their faces. It gives you the urge to just wreck it all.
If we ever recruit new members, I'll try excluding the educational background from their requisites. Although Heathcliff has never told us about what schools he went to, I can see where it's coming from. Still, you're going way over the line. She talks a lot, but she's not chatty. Every word is essential to her. Yeah, but she said she doesn't talk a lot. I'm not going off of the implication. I'm just saying that, like, for the first 2 cantos, she would not shut the fuck up. So, from my experience, and remember, I haven't played Canto 9. I haven't played the Canto 9. I'm on Canto 4, and up until this point, like half of the dialogue has been Faust not shutting the fuck up. So when she drops casually, I don't really talk all that much. I feel like, excuse me, excuse me. Faust is, no, you're right. Faust is super autism. That's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I don't think you would need to be one to be able to put your finger on that. I like the look of that outfit for Honglu. I think it looks nice. She built a bus that's close enough to a train. No. she wanted a train that could go anywhere, so she literally just built a train that is like, what is it? Domain compression into a bus. She's domain compressed a train into a bus. She's got the Giga Train autism. It's just a bus.
전부 잡아드리죠. 그 오물을.
Yeah, but it's the opposite of domain expansion. If you domain expand, like, wouldn't that be domain compression? Like where you take the, because the back of the bus, when you're driving around, the bus is closed. That domain has been compressed into a smaller space, and then it's expanded. That's not a technique. I got a technique. I'll show you. Pants grab. Innate domain. Imminent domain. That's where the government takes your land, and there's nothing you can do about it. They can say, well, actually, this land is going to have its value reduced, so we'll pay you this much for the land, and you can't say no. I'll have that land, please. She does look like a Darkest Dungeon character in that outfit. That Ryoshu outfit is nice.
나를 계속 고용해라. 홍원의 여러 협객 중 내가 별나게 보일 수 있겠지.
Cruising right along.
등롱을 밝혀 앞길을 열어라.
I had no idea that this Canto was going to be like 99% fights. Genuinely, if I wasn't streaming, this would be pretty nice, because I'd have a lot of, like, I'd be able to log in and I'd have just a lot of stuff to do. But because I'm streaming, if I don't have boxes, it's Jover. 2 seconds of story and 7 hours of fighting. You aren't even at the. I'm aware. I know. Getting into the dungeon though is like, if we can get into the dungeon today, if we have enough Enkaphalin to get into the dungeon today, then we're set. We'll be able to fill out the whole stream with content. But I mean, like, I think I'm gonna run out of Enkaphalin before I get to the dungeon, the way that this is rolling. Yeah, but the 40 fights that would be inside the dungeon aren't going to cost me Enkaphalin for each step. Right? Each fight contains its own dungeon. EY. Did you call? That man who keeps clinging to us, claiming to be your friend. What's the relationship? As can be seen, the tie has long been severed. I don't like butting in, and I hate speaking for long, even more. But I'm telling you this since the smile of that ignorance, feigning scoundrel Dongrang is detestable. Did she just call him Dongrangle? No. I could have sworn that it was Dong Wrangle. Alright. That one desk. That one that was even more disgusting than the others because it was clean and empty. The name tag below it had your name. He was planning to give Yi Sang that position all along. Do you think he's trying to headhunt him? That's supposedly a violation of moral principles between firms or something like that, isn't it? Baffled. What's that supposed to be an acronym for? It's not. I'm just baffled. Orange hair, you say you used to work on a ship for a long while. As a fixer, you have a serious delusions about wings and firms. Did you dump your common sense into the Great Lake as chum? Bringing up morality in the world we live in? Pretty amusing for a joke. Headhunting and changing jobs between firms are done based on interest and efficiency.
So you're here, Billy, with your own language, or should I say boat, Billy?
Ugh. Even if that was the case, this really is strange. He's not taking Yi Sang's thoughts into account at all. Pay it no heed. Thoughts are rather meager things. I am quite used to the life of being taxidermied. Are you sure you don't mind, Yi sang, when you joined the company? No, actually, didn't all of us receive the same offer? The job offer. In my case, I was promised I'd get my aspect carved. I could barely remember a thing, but as soon as I heard that word, I nodded as if I was possessed. They acted like they knew my only choice would be to accept it. If I joined this company, when I do, the thing I wished for dearly, the thing I recited to myself every night, yes, the thing I thought would be impossible.
They promised to make it a possibility, most certainly.
How thoroughly did they look into our backgrounds?
Guess we had our vision of Wishgratty tales like a storybook we read earlier.
In truth, even
Jesus, they're blending together again. The nerd voice. Brain smash too many words together because fighting is doing psychic damage. I'm taking emotional damage every time I get into a fight. In truth, even that wish was no more than a futile dream.
What, you weren't that desperate for it? Why'd you join them?
Simply, I walked for so long that my feet hurt. A shower of rain was pouring down as well. The bus I saw then appeared rather inviting.
That can't be it, can it? We all...
That's enough of it. Our company rules forbid disclosing the contents of the job contract in detail.
Acting all high and mighty when you're in the same boat with the rest of us. Foul.
Let's proceed.
That's when the thought struck me. Unlike most other sinners, Yi-sang wouldn't vocalize his pain. Because of that, I often discover his injuries late. Where has he been holding all that pain? I was reminded of the void in his chest I caught a glimpse of. Was he keeping it in, or was he spilling out? It's called limb bus, not limb boat, Ryoshu. Holy shit. Sick burn. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. I was like, wait, the left person's not me. For now. That's when Faust does domain expansion and Charon drives straight off of the pier into the water and the Limbus turns into a limboat. The song Love Boat, but with the words changed to be Limboat, slowly start playing as my eyeballs melt out of my skull. Any car is a boat if you're fast enough. I don't think that's true, Necro. I don't think that's true at all. Isn't that the main selling point of the Cybertruck? Oh my god. You've seen this. There's like a... Didn't we watch a video together of... I think I might be hallucinating us watching it together, but there's that bit where they had the Cybertruck was like... Some guy was like parking his Cybertruck trying to take pictures of it or whatever, and then the tide came in and grabbed the Cybertruck and he was like, oh, it's fine, I'll just drive it out. And then he tried to drive it off of the water and he couldn't because it's dog shit. 14. That's, yeah, it's 8. We get 80% more? So we're getting an extra 24? No, that's not right. 44. That's right, isn't it? Because, yeah, they're giving me 20, but I get an extra 24? I'm getting 100 and... Wait, was that last one? Were the rewards for it different? I'm confused. 44 seems like a lot. That seems more than I should be getting. I'm not necessarily complaining, right? Like I'm happy. Yeah, but basic fights should be the same reward, right? So like I just got 44 photos, which is more than I was expecting because I should be getting 80. My name is not Markiplier. Neither is mine. I think the only Markiplier video I watched was with Necro. He showed me the Smasher Pass with the Pokemon. That's a good video. It is a good video. It's funny. It made me laugh a whole bunch. The pauses between the ones where he's like, wait a second, I need to think about this one. The ones where he's like, it's definitely going to be a pass, but he's so confused. He is very serious about it. I thought it was fantastic. It's important sometimes for the comedic effect to commit fully to the bit, and I think he was locked the fuck in on that, and it was fantastic, absolutely delightful. No notes. Very good video. Yeah, I have no idea what kind of content he makes. That's literally that's the only context I have for Markiplier. Doing smash or pass like it's high stakes poker. Pretty much, that's what the video is. Got it. Call me crazy, the Five Nights at Freddy's thing never seemed like scary to me. It didn't ever seem like a horror game. It seemed kind of like a puzzle game in a sense. You've got like the original game, the concept is like you're inside of a Chuck E. Cheese essentially. The animatronics come alive and try to fill themselves with you. So they like try to jam you into themselves, but like you're the security guard, you're just the night watch. And for some reason, the door has a lock on it that is electronic, and your battery only lasts for so long for some reason. So you have to watch the cameras and see the things moving around, and then whenever they're getting close to the door, you're supposed to lock it, right? So I know almost nothing about the Five Nights at Freddy's games aside from like the core concept of the original gameplay, and I thought I don't know, it seemed kind of silly to me. I've never played a Five Nights at Freddy's games. I've never really had an interest in them. I have to select. Oh, this one's giving me a +40 as well. Interesting. I did not realize that this identity, this Rose Spanner Workshop Fixer, gave me. Interesting. So I am getting 120%. And it does apply whether they're in the party or not, as is evident from Hong Lu giving the +40 and this Merceau ID giving me +40. I don't play FNAF, but some of them are sexy. What? You think some of the animatronics are sexy? Oh, the ego? Oh, it's the ego he has equipped. This one right here, the Blade Lineage one, is +40. Oh, okay, got it. That makes sense. To battle. Yeah, I was very confused at why I was getting +40% for him. It's too dark to see. What is that? It's been stopped for a moment because the commotion, right? Yes, as intruders might come up, so Director Alfonso has ordered to halt the operations for the moment. No, that just won't do. The losses caused in that brief moment will be tremendous, Samjo. Scratch that. What is that thing? You see, this thing cries in our stead. So I always look at it with gratitude and pity. I see now. That's what Rare told me about. The voice of a person we've been desperately looking for was heard. Its source was right in front of us. Some kind of translucent veil seemed to drop as she rose. And Dongbak was looking at us. I've been wondering how, and now I know the answer. How our security was so easily breached, how we kept losing track of you, and how you kept vanishing. You had the veil. It was so simple. Why couldn't I think of it sooner?
Veil? What's that supposed to be? Guy, you buggers start talking about things only you know a guy.
You might be able to live in the city all right, but you clearly aren't cut out to be a fixer.
Most people will struggle to figure out or understand the source of each technology in their lives, so they give up the endeavor and simply nod along, pretending to know. It's an essential skill for making your life in the city bearable.
It's an expensive, singularity-based item only famous fixers, wing executives, or the richest classes could afford. Even if I asked how you got it, you won't answer me, will you? Is what I'm seeing the truth behind the regeneration ampules? Yes, that's right. The source of the ampules you're hell-bent on destroying. What do you destroy? Let me ask you a question. Don't you know how many lives these ampules can save? These regeneration ampules don't simply regenerate the body. These tears can kill as easily as they can save. Are you trying to suggest that these tears kill people? I have nothing more to say to you if you won't believe me, even after seeing it happen several times already. Fine then. Will you concede if I prove their safety by walking into this pool? What? Don't slander Mr. Dongrang with your baseless claims. Countless people have recovered from life-threatening conditions thanks to this technology. I've been injected with it once myself. My neck broke while driving, but the regeneration ampule helped me recover from the brink of death. It was one of the reasons I applied for K-Corp as soon as I became an adult. That's not the point here. What are you doing, Mr. Samjo? My childhood dream was to be a competitive swimmer in the nest. I can dive from this height, no problem. I thought it was being a baseball star. You're overdoing it again, Samjo. You don't have to go through the trouble. It's okay, so just stay here. It's no trouble at all. You worked on this ampule yourself. Mr. Dongrang, Director Alfonso, the countless other researchers worked for years to perfect K-Corp's regeneration ampules. I could only be here because I trust this technology. I'm proud of it. I'll be back in a minute. Wait, Samjo. Samjo took his glasses off and jumped into the vat containing the tears. Small bubbles rose from where he dove, but a few seconds later, no sound could be heard from the vat. Oh dear. What a bother. Samjo never knew about the unrefined tears. We won't be able to salvage his body. Still, it's fortunate that he remained proud of us until the end. This is probably the stupidest way to fucking die. Literally, when you're like, I trust you, don't worry. And he's like, no, wait, don't do that. It's like, no, sir, I trust you. Please stop for a second. If he really trusted him, he would have stopped for a second and actually listened. That was just unbelievably stupid. Like, what? What the fuck? What did you just say? Mr. Samjo is a case of success from a humble upbringing. I like that sort of person. Fellows who are hired by Wings, even though their qualifications are far below the Wings' requirements, tend to be loyal to their employers.
Was he in this bomb?
Right, you do know that being from a nest doesn't grant you a free pass to the Wings, right? What's happening? Why isn't Mr. Samjo coming back? What does the unprocessed liquid do, Dongrang? The tear's function is to revert things to how they were originally. The regeneration ampules available now are a product of numerous refining processes. When a person who has lost an arm takes the ampule, they'll remember having the arm as its original state. When someone with a dent in the head takes the ampule, their head will be restored to the shape they remember to be how it originally was. What about those people in lobotomy branch who died like bugs? They were all under a trance, so to speak. By repeatedly playing the voice that says you are a bug in a sealed, otherwise silent room, the image of bugs will be instilled in the subconscious. Indeed, it becomes more effective with the step of refining and diluting it with ideas of human concepts. But when a drop of tear that lacks any kind of interpretation touches someone, they'd be reverted all the way back to the original form of humanity. The original form? Or should I say, it helps you go back to that state. Although it tries, it doesn't seem to be capable of making a person fully reach that state. It consequently removes pain, but, well... So, are you satisfied, Dongbek? You were right, and Samjo probably turned into the original form of humanity, or something like that, in the Vat of Tears. Congratulations. Now, what do you really want? The singularity. Permanently destroying it and everything related by using the concept incinerator. Concept incinerator, huh? You'll use it again? So Dongbek, let's say that you do successfully return to an age of nothingness. What comes next? Chop trees, build huts, make clothes out of leather? Is that the kind of life you want? Mourning the lost lives of trees and animals you've built? Look, Dongbek, with an attitude like that, you'll be nothing more than a primitive amateur. Are you really sure that's what you want? You always ask stupid questions, then and now. We decided to use this vile technology as tools to get rid of the vile creatures. Thus, no one can remain in the future we envision. That's why we could be free from the obsession with survival. What are you talking about? So you weren't envisioning a future? You just can't let go of the past? Both of you, stop this. I don't want old feuds repeating before my eyes. Yisang, you look fine. You say it like you're relieved. Didn't you want him? You're right. I wanted him to die, but I'm sure he wished for the same. He wouldn't resist while it dug into his heart. It was unpleasant. It felt like I was granting you your wish. Seems to me both of you got screws loose. You think pushing someone off a cliff can be justified because that person was hesitating? Why don't we hear it from the person himself then? I have no words to say. I just want to die. We know your deal, Yisang. You just want to die. This conversation is over then. I'm frankly glad it is. I'll take this opportunity to kill 2 of my old companions with my own hands. Then I'll seize and burn the singularity. Big dong splitting facts. I hated Dongrang at this point. He can't just speak simply. Well, they're doing a bit of fanfare, I think, for the fact that the names are, or the fact of the singularity breakdown is always like a very, like, I don't know, I think the developers, the writers are very, very excited to exposition dump on the singularities. The singularities are like the big thing in this game. They're super excited to like talk about them. So my general sense is that, you know, they're trying to do that. You know, they're trying to do a nice cheeky little breakdown of all of that. Good luck. I was gonna say, like, I don't know, she seems like she's getting wrecked, so I could be wrong, and I could be about ready to get screwed over, but like, I don't know, everything looks fine to me so far. I was gonna. She needs to take a shower first though. No, he just rambles way worse than Faust. I don't know. He does ramble on, but he's only got a chapter. We're stuck with Faust. Faust has spoken less and less each chapter, and I'm thankful for that. I truly am. Lobotomy, ego, sun shower, dongback. Unstable. She's having a bad time. Lobotomy, ego, dong. That's true. That was cool. Everybody just taking turns. A panic and unstable. She's still just letting us beat her off. The next fight I used a support ID because it was making me mad. Bottomy ego rang. Next fight will be a baby fight. I mean, if this so this fight is letting me just auto clicker through it, so we'll see. I don't know if I might regret auto clicking. I'm just win rating. I'm gonna win rate until I get to a point where the game's like, no, actually you can't do that. I'm gonna need you to actually not win rate. I'm doing the win rate thing, and I am aware that there was a bit right there that if I had selected things, something else might have been the outcome. But I don't care. We're gonna unga bunga all the way through it. You'll actually want to not win rate next fight. I'll tell you what, Fatal. I'm gonna win rate next fight, and if I lose, I will go again and not win rate the next fight. But up until this point, there's been no reason for me to not win rate. But we shall see. We shall see. It'll be cinema when we win by win rate only. We shall see. I have no idea what's in store for me. It's only one way to find out. Excuse me. Bud. Okay, so we are out of juice. We are on our last box. And this is another 7 fight. I think we're not going to bring you, and we're not going to bring you. Yeah, that'll give... Wait, cancel. Who's our number 2? I think we want to have...
말뚝을 쑤셔 넣어주자.
잠시 같이 걸을 텐가. 네 목
Like manager bud. Yeah, I got it. I got that reference. Kakov. Hemoptysis. An optimistic sign. Even with repeated training with Quillpoth the turret's abusive ego will still push the user's body to the limit. Will you return the golden bow now, Dongbek? I was supposed to hand it over to my guests over here, signed in some complicated contract with several stamps, so I can't go back on my words here. Proudly boasting your ignorance, still. And you are weak, still. Even with the ego from Lobotomy Corp. This was below my expectations, Dongbek. Besides, I haven't even introduced you to the technology I developed. I know why. I know. Why don't we hold our first conference in a while? The daily audio-visual feed has been sent. So tell them, Dongbek, how much bigger can your despair grow? Oh, shit. So they take video recordings of gore, death, destruction, things that are happening. They show it to this cosmic eyeball, and then they force the lids open, and that causes the cosmic eyeball to panic and cry, and the tears come out, and then they can use the tears to fulfill wishes. Is that generally speaking, is that the singularity? That's the footage those drones filmed while we were fighting the abnormality on the street. I read the threat you sent, Dongbek. Said you could release an abnormality on the streets if I don't speak about the singularity. I know you were always fond of radical events, but I didn't think you'd actually do it. Of course, it produced a lot more tears, all thanks to you. No, I wasn't planning to release it. It escaped. You ignored my warning. You still don't get what the eyeball is? I think it's what they were talking about, the stars. There's some kind of cosmic entity, I would assume, right? You know, you can manifest truth in this universe. That's a thing that they've done in the past. Where do you find a giant wish eyeball? You manifest it. You just manifest it. Was it the storybook that we read, right? And then there's a precedent for this, of people believing in something. This with the prescripts. People believing in things, and therefore they create their own god. The god is the city, and the city has its own vibration tune and is actually a god. Somebody or enough people believing in the stars, and that is an entity, can be enough to just cause an entity to exist. No, I wasn't planning to release it. It escaped. You ignored my warning. If I responded there, that would mean admitting that our lab had been experimenting on abnormalities arbitrarily. Thank goodness our contractors happened to be near the nest when it happened. So it was part of your plan to have us run into the breached abnormality? It was closer to an experiment than a plan. The possibility of failure was kept in mind, but I had evidence to trust that you'd make it through. I've been keeping an eye on you for longer than you might think. I told you, didn't I? I'm a fan of yours. No, Sinclair. It's always been the other way around. I'm the one who grips. How is this? I don't think I want to watch. We generated record tears that time as well. It played a significant part in securing the award, I might add. The employees of a certain department in N Corp weren't the best people to talk with, but I was able to procure a fresh audiovisual feed thanks to them. That means the reason N Corp could get away with such cruelties in the residential area in Nest K was, this is what the deal entailed. I think I remember a certain fellow saying this, while Brother Young G's glass window was innovative, it was simply too vast to freely wield, especially for a coarse man like me. Dongbek, was it you? Are you... There just were never enough tears. I mean, look around you and see how many people are suffering here. So they'll be doing the crying for us, with no time to shut their eyes. I only made minor modifications to Brother Young G's work. I wanted to show a reflection of any possibility in its unvarnished image. That is why I'm considering the name for it, Mirror. I wish that it will serve as a tool of entertainment, giving us more joy. This is why I haven't been able to see you lately to discover this. Dongrang, why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are full of curious twinkles. Yi Sang, will you tell him to shut it? Why don't you hide your astonishment of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time on your face first? Mouths unable to hold laughter, exclamations of amazement. Smiles at each other, eyes glowing brighter than stars. Everyone there felt pure joy. I only wished that all this would remain a simple recreation. Sorry, the text wasn't in blue, so I didn't know. Be quiet. You will simply live on as you are, as if you know nothing. The glass window wasn't made for this kind of wicked degeneracy. We're having an important moment. Please mind your language. And I know what you're saying. Brother Young Ji would have scolded me for this. I hate Dongrang. I love Dongrang. I love Dong. But did you know, though? We're no longer in the time when we used to cheer over toy-like inventions. The applause won't be as loud with how few of us that remain now. You're just struggling to let go, isn't that right? You give your grand speeches about the evil of technology, but that's no more than a pretext you made up on the way as a means to garner support to reach your true goal. You claim to fight the vile technology, but you yourself are being plenty vile. When your group took over the lobotomy branch facility, where I just happened to be conducting my research, you probably told your followers that it was to investigate the singularity, but in reality, you figured out that you could find pieces of technology you could use as weapons, didn't you? Like ego. I wonder who gave you all that precious information. Shreen couldn't have known that. How about a game of 20 questions? Will you tell me that way? Don't talk like you know everything. That attitude of yours always annoys. Then let me act like I know about just one more thing. That when we peeked through Brother Young Ji's glass window, and when we got a glimpse of worlds reflected in Yi Sang's mirror, we felt the euphoria and schism we would never be able to recover from. Since the moment the glass window was made, all sorts of interest groups came knocking on the door, right? While we may think that we left the league of our own volition, we all know what actually happened. We were actually just torn apart and scattered away, and that's the reason. And that's the reason for it came from the inside. Dongbek, even if you put my work in the concept incinerator, we won't be able to go back to these innocent times. You know that, right? Even though you are aware, you still can't give up your obsession. Now I get it. If someone were to discover the incinerated technologies again, other nameless fellows with other dreams would feel the same euphoria we once felt. That's what you wanted to happen, since we can't return to the past ourselves. You were going to recreate the past for coming generations. Wow, what a cute and unique idea, Dongbek. Miss Dongbek, your body? Dongbek muttered into emptiness. It was though she was talking to someone. Yes, I'll bury it deep in the sand. Hide them. For someone to find someday. We didn't discover the technologies because we were better or had exclusive rights to. You may be right. I fooled everyone, including myself, into working for my own goals. It was the land we tilled that was fertile. That's disheartening to hear. Are you going to discredit all your efforts that went into plowing the soil and missing out on sights of flowers? Back then we were naive amateurs, and the past you refused to forget is just a fleeting moment seen through rose-tinted glasses. Did your colleagues who gave their lives to the cause know this, though? The cause you exclaimed was only a specious banner to lure people with? That it was as vain as the cloud in the sky? No. And yet, I'm finally seeing myself better now, which is why I should plant the sprout and cover it with dirt in my own hands. Isn't that right? The bud has fallen, and our fruit has long since withered. It must be covered with dirt again. Let other fruits be born. Hey, is it really okay to let her be? You know, your mind doesn't work right when you're using ego. Now hold on. Now hold on. Are you doing this on purpose? Talk her as much as you can. And wait for her to tire herself out. Back to the innocent times. Now with us. Now without us. He's rage baiting her. Canto 4 is the League of Nerds, that's for sure. He's fucking with her. He's specifically fucking with her. He's poking and prodding her to try to get her to distort. Or maybe not distort, but to get her to like succumb to the ego. What, like when you're wearing ego, if you go insane, don't you just get like overtaken by the ego? Ah, innocence. No words are as embarrassing as that.
Oh, keep it together.
No one can shake your mind like I do. Then and now. Isn't that right? No. I feel like my mind is blooming wider than ever. I've always wished to be a bud, soon to burst into bloom, shrouded in scent all over the body, even if this is my own heart-wrenching path, understood by no one. I'll still leave behind a morrow, strong and fertile like fallen petals. The dong just popped. You just used drivel unironically in a sentence. So you're who's the real nerd here, Putty? Who's the real nerd? This might be one of those fights where we can't just unga bunga smash our way through it, but we're gonna try. Unga bunga, baby. Oh, we did all just lose a bunch of stuff. That's not good. And we did no damage, right? Pride resistance, they take bonus damage from that. We just need to win rate harder. That's true. Simply win the clashes, that's all. Inflict 2 rupture and inflict 1 blooming. Turn end at +5 count, take sloth damage by count percentage of max HP and become fully bloomed. At less than 5 count, lose count times 5 SP and reduce count by 1. And rupture is when hit by an attack, take fixed damage by the effect's potency, then reduced by its count by 1. Reduces count by 1. Okay, so she's doing a bunch of blooming. And those are on hits. So she needs to actually win the clash, but this is on use. Like flowers in full bloom, on use, inflict 3 blooming. At turn end, at 5 count, take sloth damage by count percent of max HP. So we're going to be taking max HP damage on the blooming one, right? And this is a 42. So basically we need to have like one person tank all these hits, right? We need to have just one person eat a bunch of hits. That's what I'm going to go with. At least. No fatal, pale damage. What are you talking about, fatal? It's not pale. Gloom resistance, it's pride. Pride resistance is... They're weak to pride. That's not light blue, that's dark blue. Sinclair should face tank it? Is that because Sinclair likes losing? But we can do win rate, and then we can do this. To have Sinclair clash. At the outset. Time to unpack.
포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군. 내 뒤.
The fights don't last that long, Necro. Oh, she just domain expanded? And I see. He got butted. Soon to bloom flower. So we could have, let's see, we gotta check the on hit. So she's gonna be taking on these attacks. He can take that attack. That's hopeless. Never mind. What if we swap? That's power counter. We could have somebody who's got a decent chance to succeed. That's struggling. What about purple? That's struggling. The power counter has I think a higher chance of succeeding. We'll do that, but he's got minus 21. We'll do that anyway. And then we're gonna go here and hit these. I gotta break your boy out too.
거긴 킬존이다. 회풍.
Win rate maxing for this fight would be really funny, but yeah, you're right. This is not it's not possible. Because if people get messed up, they get bloomed. It's the first fight with actual mechanics. That makes sense. And he's at minus 37. Why didn't he dual a hand? Does he? Oh, he did dual a hand. Okay. He needs some wins. He needs to win. That's neutral. But if I do this, that becomes dominating. That's gonna cost her something to do it, but we'll do that. And then we've got one leftover attack that we can do for Sinclair. Breaking Sinclair out is something I definitely want to do, but I don't think... No, he wasn't supposed to dual hand. He's gonna corrupt. He might corrupt. We shall see. I'm not using his ego. I use somebody else's. My God. he just lost a clash with a fragrant breeze, which I find really, really funny.
그 자식은 아직 살아 있을 거야.
Egos be taking a billion years to finish, doing 12 damage.
계속해봐라. 이 폭풍이 잦아들 때까지.
Fucking dumbass. Alright, she's blocking this turn. We need to break out. Wait, is Sinclair dead? I can't see anything. Oh no, Sinclair's back. Cool. She's gonna block. His purple skill will corrupt him. Actually, good that he got captured.
준비한 기회를 그럼 끝이다.
Oh, he's back up to 45 SP, so that's good. And we're at hopeless here. Okay, so these are AoE attacks. I think these are like AoE attacks that I'm not super comfortable with. I don't know how they work. But gain +5 final power for each living soon-to-bloom flower. Remove all soon-to-bloom flowers. Okay. And then one hit, target loses 15 SP, inflict 3 blooming. Which means anybody who's at 2 blooming or higher is going to be in a world of hurt. Loved Wild Hunt for a bit and then found him to be a liability. He's interesting enough. Okay, so this bit right here, killing the soon to bloom flower, she's acting at 1, so all of our attacks get to go off first. So we go here and make sure this dies. Hopeless. Why is that hopeless? Why isn't it unopposed? We're clashing. But it gains +5 final power for each living soon-to-bloom flower. If we kill this soon-to-bloom flower, it loses +5 power. Is that added in the calculations? I feel like it is. It's a boss fight. He can't get enough coffins to be useful. That makes sense. I actually understand that. Who's attacking this? I think she's attacking. Sorry, I have to make sure that I have everybody's attacks. This is unopposed, and then this other one is unopposed. This attack. I just want to see the one attack that I have set over here to make sure that it's right. There we go. Why are you attacking her? That doesn't make any sense. I'm so confused. Why does it look like... Why are Heathcliff's arrows pointing at my allies? Is he attacking himself? I'm so confused. Why the... He's taken over? I see. I can't... That's so fucking stupid. I can't... Oh my god. I want to have Mama Otis kill his ass. Oh my god. That's so fucking stupid. He shouldn't be on my side then. I feel like that's fucking dumb. So stupid. We're just gonna take the hits. Heathcliff's a dumb bitch. We'll just take the hits.
내 뒤. 불사위.
계속해봐라.
오랜만에
폭풍이 찾아들 때까지.
합공창.
Oh, fuck. These two are staggered? I'm confused. Where are they? If they're staggered, like, where are they?
기꺼이. 사정없이 몰아칠 테니.
I'm so confused. Okay. Simply do 800 damage in one turn. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I just don't know where, like, two of my people got staggered and I just don't know where they are. Like, in the earlier parts of this fight... Okay, there she is, but what, is she taken over? I don't understand. Like, where was she? She's staggered, she just gets taken off the board? I don't get it.
장부를 펼칠 것도 없겠고.
She turns you into a flower? Yeah, but there were no flowers. That's what I was confused about.
이리 와라.
I know Otis got turned into a flower because she got bloomed. She just doesn't have enough dice.
꼬락서니건 상관없다. 나는 다시 돌아온다. 통째로 씹어먹을 그 순간까지.
말뚝을
이 소리는 폭풍인가? 마치 개소리 울고 자는 것 같군.
You think I should use 7 characters because I can lose multiple skill slots if they can affected? I'm gonna keep doing my 5 characters because I don't have the XP tickets to bring characters up to snuff. as far as level goes to be able to do that. I've got the characters that I've got, so we're gonna work with that. I'm gonna try to allot my my bonus skills in a different way, and these are both on hit. This first fight we can go on. Well, this first fight we can do this here. We'll do a power counter. Hope we get the heads flip.
거긴 킬존이다. 탑봉창. 회풍.
Okay, so she's gonna be the one who gets turned into a flower first. Because she fucked up and lost her clashes.
주라디야, 죽도록 달릴 시간이다.
And this is the one that on use inflicts 3 blooming, and she's already... Wait. Why do I have 3 blooming on 3 characters? I'm so confused. Why do I have 3 blooming on 3 characters already? This is the only one that is on use applies blooming, and it only hits 1 character. So, what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, well, it just doesn't make any sense. I won all of those clashes. Nobody else should have gotten blooming on them except for the 1 character who took the 1 hit that did blooming. Like, only 1 character actually got hit by attacks. So it just doesn't make any sense to me why we got hit with blooming. I'm reading the thing. It's just not doing what it says that it is gonna do. Like, why did we get hit there? We won both of those clashes. I'm so confused sometimes with, like, I see the numbers match up that I won, and it just doesn't matter, I guess? This was expected. I expected her, because she had blooming, I expected her to go flip-flop over to the other side, but Jesus Christ. Heathcliff. Heathcliff, you dumb bitch. Why is your SP so low? So orange is ineffective, so we're going to want to use something other than orange. Purple is our only other option with Otis.
목을 내놓고 있도록.
I might have. Actually, that might have been it. Because that was a win rate button. We hit the win rate button, and I think the win rate attacked the evade. Fucking Heathcliff. Losing clashes against a bush. That tracks. That actually makes a lot of sense. And this is on use inflict blooming. So having one person who we are going to anticipate being bloomed next turn attack that is probably the best. Why are you panicked? Girl, relax. Everything's fine. It's plants. It's bushes. Girl, what are you doing? Maybe everything is not going to be fine now. I think Sinclair is going to need to eat the blooming attacks, unfortunately. We're favored with both of these. Who knows? I mean, we're going to get bloomed. Which sucks, but I think that's as good as it's going to get. Ain't got no sanity. It's all gone. I hope you feel really good about yourself, Heathcliff. I need you to stop getting your shit kicked in, please. Zero damage? Why are we doing 0 damage? We must have hit a damage ceiling. It's not the first time that we've hit a damage wall, but I'm not gonna not hate it. She's doing her AoEs this turn. She's got 1 AoE going on. 54, and that's because look at all these blooms we have. Still hopeless, even if we use the ego. It's still hopeless, but if we kill the buds, right? Like that's gonna be the ticket here. If we kill the buds, then it's not gonna be a problem. So we've got 1 bud taken care of. 2nd bud, maybe. I think this purple attack does a fuck ton of damage. That should be able to kill that bud. And then this bud is getting egoed by Heathcliff, and that gives us 1 extra attack. And we're gonna get hit by this. That's gonna hit Mama Otis, which is not great. But because Sinclair is my person who's got the extra dice, I don't really have much of a choice. So we're gonna have to ego. It's still hopeless with the ego, but we anticipate it to be hopeless with the ego. I think what we have to do is not use this. I think we'd have to flip-flop these because of the way that the dice are rolled out. So we attack this one here, and then this is going over to here. And that'll be our last attack, is going to hit the AoE attack. And hopefully, with these guys dead, she'll only have a little bit of a bonus, and we should be able to beat it. But a lot of this relies on whether or not we're able to kill these plants. If Mama Otis can set a bush on fire. Alright, so that one's dead. Now we just need to kill this other one. And then we need a Heathcliff to lock in and kill the other bush up top. Fuck, we lost that. It sucks. Trash fights in greywater of... Well, yeah. Hi, little soft femboy. How are you today? We did beat the AoE attack. That means we're not going to take as much damage as we would have otherwise taken. But this fight is a mechanically interesting fight in a sea of mechanically boring fights. So we're actually engaging with mechanics now. So hey, you know, I think we might be in a better spot than we were before, at the very least. Hopeless. Love to see a hopeless attack. Hopeless. Neutral. We've got one neutral. What about instead of having Mama attack that, what if we have Mama? Yeah, Mama is dominating over here. So then we have you attack there. That's neutral. And then Heathcliff. There we go. And then Heathcliff can attack up here to make sure the fully bloomed flower dies. And then with 15, I feel like we could probably ego up here and be dominating. That way she definitely doesn't get to attack, and we definitely get Sinclair back this turn. Surge is gonna crash out so hard when he learns we lost to a bunch of flowers. At this point, he can't be surprised. He's like lost the ability to be surprised. We're a team of fuck-ups. It's just like what we've been doing this entire time. Let me cook.
그 자식은 아직 살아 있을 거야.
All right, so we got Sinclair to wait. We do have Sinclair back, right? No, we don't. Why does this keep happening? I don't understand. Didn't we broke him out? Targeting allies for attacks when staggered. Remove this effect next turn. This effect isn't removed for 2 turns. Lose 30 SP and remove it at the end of the turn. When staggered, remove this effect next turn. I think I got something that could stagger him. I can't target my allies? Come on. God damn it. And I can't make him defend either. God damn it. It's so annoying. And I can't defend against my own attacks. Use counters? If I use a counter on... If I use a defense on... Like, if I use a defense over here, will I defend against against Sinclair's attack? Well, I know I can use Heathcliff's counter, but I can't target Sinclair. So does that mean I'm going to actually get the counter? Start units without this status go into a fully bloomed status. Turn start. Units without this status go into fully bloomed status. If Yi Sang has this effect, Dongbek gains 1 attack power up. On use, inflict dueling next turn. I'm confused. Combat start, gain 5 protection. Ishmael will protect anybody that's not guarding if she uses her defense. Really? Alright, we'll try that.
거긴 킬존이다. 회풍. 이제 갖고 놀기. 틀렸다. 하하하. 재밌군.
The sunglasses up. Heathcliff still got his ass caked. She is doing her guard this time though. Okay, what the fuck? What the? Can somebody please? Okay, all right. No, I see what happened here. I see what happened. And I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. You made him clash with Dong, so he couldn't clash with Sinclair. You know, I see that, but like that's not my fault, Fatal, because I couldn't clash with Sinclair. I had to choose somebody. I had to choose something to attack. I don't understand what you mean. This just happens regardless. Yeah, but like I'm looking at this like that's a big attack. right? Like, if I don't ego... Okay, so if I ego, I'm dominating. Maybe if I beat this, at end, add 6 plus count, becomes staggered. Yeah, but if I stagger her, my other people don't come back, do they? They remain as flowers. There's no way for me to know what the potential outcome of this is, but as soon as I see that I have allies that are taken out of my control, I get annoyed and I want to take my allies back. She's still dueling with me. At turn end, at 6 plus count becomes staggered. What's 6 plus count? I can't see how many. Okay, so if I duel and I beat her again, then she gets staggered. Clash lose, gain scattering petals. So I have to make her lose this clash. So we're gonna use ego again and make sure that she loses this clash. That should cause her to stagger, but I don't know if she staggers if everybody else comes back or not. I don't know how it works. Pog. Everybody comes back, and now we go damage. That's a lot of damage, Daddy Heathcliff. Mama says, hold my beer. Get wrecked, bozo. Why don't we look at it this way? Did you know that a new League of 9 has been formed in N-Corp? They seem to be recruiting the old members and their technologies, similar to what you tried to do, though it looks like they're trying to erase that past, rather. This is purely conjecture, but we're all doomed to die at the hands of our dear fellow Gubo and be taxidermied one after the other. All I did was bring that predetermined death a bit earlier. Besides, you've gone too far out of our past friendship to forgive Dongbek. I was looking forward to the staff dinner tomorrow. I really was. Come on then. It's time you ceased the bloom, Dongbek. With the golden bow in hand, Dong Rang stabs Dongbek without hesitation. But why? I could state many reasons, but right, let's say this is my parting act of compassion. I knew I'd have to wilt when the time came, but I always wished to be a bud, soon to bloom, bearing the scent within, like you, Yisang, how you dreamed of flying. Like that, I just wanted to be buried under a piquant scent of flowers, with you all. New feed has been added. Soon, the screen is filled with yellow petals. Thank you, Yisang, for showing me such a moment. I would dedicate my entire life to repay you for this favor. Hey, Yisang, what say you setting up a lab with me? I get the feeling every day spent with you will be a fun one. Amazing, Yisang. Unlike me, you attempted to reflect the true image in all its uprightness. The images don't overlap. They aren't blurry or shaky. Yisang, you're too lax. Why on earth would you leave it as a plaything when it can be so much more? Be still. Just be still. And do nothing more than breathe. For now, that's how you must live. You cannot move. The League has fallen apart. We have to leave this place. Yisang, you come with me. You can close your eyes if you so wish. Since you're too faint-hearted, I'll see ahead in your stead. What are you thinking? Nothing. And the scent of the grave was in full bloom. And the scent of the grave was in full bloom. What's that? extra photos. Nailed it. Continuing on.
길이 같으니 거들어주지.
Ah, and so, am I still nothing? As the intense golden glow fades, the space between the betweens twist and morph. Did the golden bow have the power to do this? I don't think we've even entered the fathoms of the ego yet. Was it capable of warping warping the real world?
Excitement or questions over matters related to the golden pose have little meaning. To you, and to Faust, all of us would be the very first witnesses to what is happening before our eyes. It would be statistically sound to assume that we will continue to witness previously unseen events in the future.
I suppose you're right. I mean, look at that. Unable to properly articulate her words any further, Ishmael pointed a finger instead. Even the dead are coming back. Bodies that have been devoid of life for a while begin to rise. Their organs or body parts were severely damaged. This could only be described as a resurrection. I've seen some stuff, but bringing people back from the dead sounds too implausible. Even from K-Corp's HP ampules couldn't do this much, right? It's unlikely that there was absolutely no technology or singularity capable of complete revival at some point. However, if such technology did exist, I, for one, haven't heard of it once, even during war. That can only mean it's not a kind of technology allowed to prosper in the city. If I had to guess, the head might. Indeed. It may well be an act of taboo as established by the head. It's completely different from Limbus Company's case, where we can experience revival by synchronizing with Dante. It's different and wrong. Theirs is not a complete restoration. Unlike our case, they're merely animated. That's all. They appear to lack consciousness and reason. Seems that way. In other words, I guess it would only count as a taboo if both the mind and body are recovered. Time to kill him. Again. I've got this tears passive. Well, that boss was fun. Like, it's one of those situations where, like, if you hadn't done that duel bit before, you wouldn't really know to go out of your way to make sure that you win those flashes. Reading, basically, that particular fight was just like, do you have the capacity to stop in the middle of clicking on win rate and go, as we've trained you to do, and actually read the abilities that enemies have. And apparently I passed that test. I don't know how, because the game has trained me at this point to win rate go, win rate go. Spending your time thinking about turns up until this point has been a waste. And they do that, like, they put this, like, this boss where you actually have to read the mechanics of the fight. They put that, like, dead center in the middle of the brain dead Canto. The brain dead Canto. The dog water Canto.
준비한 기믹은 이게 다인가? 내 뒤.
직접 밝혀주마. 목을 내놓고 있도록. 왜 안에 갇혀 죽어라.
배품.
I'm still very interested to see how far we can get. I'd love to be able to at least see the dungeon before we have to end the stream today.
그쯤 해줬으니 포장지 한번 벗겨야겠군.
Seal released. It's such a cool mechanic, but like, we never get to see her like 4 seals get removed.
어때 딸? 엄마밖에 없지?
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
When I took a closer look at the revived foes after the battle, I could see a liquid of familiar hue flowing from their eyes.
Dante, do you feel the golden bow's presence nearby? Last time I saw, the golden bow was lodged into Dogbank's body.
I can't find her corpse anywhere. Must have been moved away when the space twisted. But it can't be too far away, I'm sure of it. I can feel it. I don't see Dongrang either.
He is likely to be the same location as the deceased Dogbank.
Until now, we've experienced the fathoms of ego at the same time. I guess it's thanks to Dante's particular affinity, if that makes sense.
이라고 해야 할까? 무슨 되지도 않는 소리야. 친밀?
The hell are you talking about? Affinity?
Do you mean the chains binding us?
Yeah, this is one of their influences, right? Then, what will happen if someone like Dongrang gets to the fathoms? Fret not, for we shall find out from now on. Let us vanquish the foes ahead for now. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later, is what she just said. I'm translating. That's a really cool way to do 26 damage. It's just like... Okay. Then the Mama takes a turn, does... was that 44 and 36? Does 80 damage in a single action.
불길 속으로.
You hope Canto 7 is my favorite? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. We're still on Canto 4, and Canto 4 is taking 1 billion years to complete, so eventually I'm sure I will get to Canto 7, and then we'll get to see how I feel about it. We are out of boxes. We are out of boxes. We are out of Enkefalin. It's feasible that I could go into here and I could buy more boxes. There are multiple segments of boxes that I could buy to push through. That is true. I am gonna do that. We'll keep going. We're gonna buy 12 boxes. We're gonna finish this, or we're at least gonna get pretty deep into this Canto today. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it. 4:52. I'm gonna go use the toilet, but it looks like we're about to go inside of a big hole. So I'm gonna go use the toilet, and I will be right back. I'm gonna grab something to drink as well. But we're gonna push through. We're gonna power through. I'm not going to use lunacy. You can't make me. Okay, we're back. We're back. And it's more fighting. Just got more fighting to do. See how far these boxes we just bought can stretch.
몸을 밝혀 앞길을 열어라. 기꺼이. 귀와 요격.
Yeah, I've decided I'm not going to spend lunacy to buy Enkaflin. One of the main reasons is that Enkaflin is a time-gated resource and lunacy is a not time-gated resource. Lunacy is a limited resource that will only be obtained by like depletable. I guess you could say that the 700 lunacy that you get from waiting until the weekly mirror dungeons, but there's a massive time investment in the mirror dungeons, and I don't see, there's like no reason to spend my lunacy to play more whenever I can just wait until tomorrow and play more tomorrow. So I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not impatient. Don't you get all Faustian on me, Fatal. Don't be like, well, actually, statistically, if you crunch the numbers, then you can find out that actually, no. We're not doing that. This is one game in my repertoire that I'm going to play. All of the other games that I'm currently playing at the same time, this game gets shelved the second I run out of Enkaflin. And the only reason that I'm using the boxes is because I'm on stream, and I would have to end the stream in order to continue later. So we're using the boxes now so that we, can keep playing. I don't ever want to be using lunacy because I want to keep playing, right? Enkaflin's the stamina, it's the time-gated resource. We're going to work within the bounds of the time-gated resource that we're given and play the game this way. It's not like I'm quitting because because of the box thing. I'm going to do everything I'm going to do everything in my power to continue playing whenever I have available time. And it's within the stream schedule. But I'm just basically saying I'm not going to bend over backwards or spend currency that is like lunacy is a paid currency. That is the purchased currency. You can technically pay more money to just keep playing the game forever. That's a thing that you can do. I'm not going to spend the paid currency to play the game, right? If that makes sense. No shame, no hate if you factor that into the way that you play the game and you run mirror dungeons, you get your weekly boost or your weekly compensation pack or whatever, and you decide to spend one set of lunacy per day, but lunacy is the paid resource, and I don't want to spend the paid resource on playing the game. Just literally the only thing that you're spending it on by doing that is just the privilege to play more. Again, no shade, no hate if that's how you want to play. It's just not how I'm going to do it. There's a bajillion games out there. So many games to play. So many good games to play too. There's just like a ton of good stuff out there. If you catch my drift. This is a really good game to have as like a pivot or a switch or a shift to pop off onto something else. Hey, look at that. We did it. We made it to the dungeon. The dungeon of a bajillion fights. Let's keep going. We've got our four modules. We've been saving up those modules forever, so let's dive right in. As we approached the center of the Golden Bow's resonance, I noticed scattering piles of yellow. With the twisting space, petals were wavering. So the fathoms of Yi Sang's ego over there? Come on, let's get in. Wow, I sure didn't expect I'd be back here. Is this thanks to the golden bow, or is it you, Yi Sang? When we got there, Dongrang greeted us merrily. How cozy. What place is this, Yi Sang? The only place where I may breathe. That's what this was. There are stacks of paper on the desk. Yes. You see, usually, these are placed for visitors like us to read. Yi Sang quietly picks up a stack. I couldn't begin to imagine what thoughts his face may have suggested as he silently read the letters on them. When the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby. Cradle and all. It's a horrible baby song. A letter I had written once, and its structure follows that of a play script. Is this then reasonable to assume that each actor in the play was provided with one? If so, this may well have been a stage awaiting our arrival rather than a simple emptiness. From the looks of it, we'll have to read out the script, right? Maybe Dongbek might just come, Yi Sang. If Dongbek got this space before she died, I'm not sure what I should call this. Anyway, if the entrance opened while she was alive, her consciousness might have been wrapped up in this, as ours were. For what reason did you stab Dongbek? She hesitated a little too much. What did you want this kind of eulogy from me? The reason, I'll hear it. No, it's really, you knew as well, Yi Sang. In that state, Dongbek's death was imminent. Her life would have been painfully scattered away if I let her be. That's why you can't lash out at me. Despite the anger boiling inside you, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. This time, the fathoms of ego might present themselves differently from the previous ones. The fathoms of ego are places or images of someone's mind made manifest. It releases a powerful and complex energy. It might draw in people other than sinners, like those deeply related to Yi Sang in this case.
That's so. To put it bluntly, it created a bunch of clowns that act on stage, is that right?
Although this is merely a guess, yes, I suppose that's about right. We'll have to do our best with our given roles.
And if we don't?
The image displayed by the fathoms of ego will go awry, ultimately preventing our access to the golden bow. We must reenact the originals, in other words, Yi Sang's actual memories as closely as possible.
Alright, I got that clear enough. So, what the? I almost jumped out my skin.
I had people who accompanied me, either by caprice, coincidence, or fate.
What a fascinating line. Why did you stand in front of the door like that? Why'd you stand in front of the door like a dork?
What did you call me? Wait, aren't you the one that just...
What are you staring at my face for? Like you were looking at a dead person. Why do I look cool? She's right. Gaprion? Don't act like such a country bumpkin. Do you want your mannerisms to match your name?
The hell are you saying now? What is it?
Heathcliff doesn't know how to roleplay. I'm just reading from the script, Mr. Heathcliff. The script. That's just what mine says. What are you whispering like that? You know, Dongbek. Gaprion was thinking back to how we all managed to gather here at T-Corp.
That really bugs me. Oh, don't call me about that name.
Good acting. The real Gaprion always used to ask us not to call him by his name, too. It is now your turn to speak, Sanghyo. So, as one might know, our hometown S-Corp district was going through a turbulent time, many things breaking and changing. Because of daydreaming higher-ups who tell sweet-sounding words with no substance and corrupt officials squeezing the people, the public's lives and economy teetered and twisted more and more each day, with no guarantees of arrangements between wings or positions to apply for. Researchers like us who pursued the studies of knowledge struggled to find even a simple bolt to help ourselves. That was when Brother Young Ji brought us together. Ah, the Young Ji. Young Jeezy. I was the one who called Yi Sang and Dongbek. We grew up in the same town. Right, Brother Young Ji and Dongrang brought us together. There, I suggested. The wing called T-Corp is seeing remarkable technological growth nowadays, generously backing inventions of machines and technology. So it should be no problem at all to get any part we need. There, all the people invent for a living. So the like-minded ones defected to the district empty-handed, risking everything. As everyone wished, we were free to continue our research here, even though we had to yield the colors in them, making it so they didn't outwardly shine. As Merceau, or the League of Nine Literateurs member, he pointed out I couldn't see any color in this place. Even the flower just outside the window was devoid of color, waving like a turbid blur. In T-Corp's district, having colors is a kind of privilege. They take away colors? Colors establish identity. There are a few better ways to rob one of uniqueness than this. Isn't that right?
For sure.
And colors are some of the few things the poor could normally have.
Hey, Aang, are you going to keep chatting away? The conference is today. Watch, I've made a vibrant amusement. Look, it blows up better than before, doesn't it? I have to wonder what's up with your obsession with explosives. I mean, fireworks, Dongbei. Here, you can see the stars in the night sky thanks to blinding lights and smokestacks filling the air. The stars were so pretty in my hometown. It was fun watching them together. What's more, there's no color here, where we were. We could at least see the colors of flowers, so I wanted to bring it back in some way. Look, even if it's all black and white, you can still see it, right? Fire makes such a warm color. I'm a bit embarrassed. I don't have anything to show off for now. Is that really something to admit so merrily? Treating injured animals on the streets took much more of my time. I couldn't leave them be. They reminded me of the yellow calf I left behind in my hometown. It used to like you so much. I don't get what it saw in you. It was abandoned by its mother, seeking warmth to lean in on its instinct all living beings have. Well, by now, I guess. Has offsprings? Has offspring? Probably not. The calf was male. Oh, bother. Here we go again. Gapryong, looks like the bar owner is here to take the tab you owe again. Why don't you go outside and greet them?
What? Those crooks? How'd they get there?
The strong residents of the Golden Bow with Yi Sang has affected the entire laboratory building. They were caught up in it as well, but they have no ties to Yi Sang. Since they weren't given any roles to play, they instead try to ruin the stage. It'll only get worse as the Fathoms grow unstable.
In other words, we have to be quick with moving the play's plot along. The more time we spend fooling around like a certain complete oaf instead of reacting to what the script says, the more enemies will attack us. Ishmael began to lightly limber up, cracking her joints. So let's focus on the foes in the deck for now. Yi Sang's level rises to 35. Yi Sang's uptie and threadspin tiers rise to tier 3. Ego gift get. Boop. 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 Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Why can't we go to battle? Yi Sang must participate? Ew! Shit. I don't want to use Yi Sang. But since I have to, let me see what things I have for him. Literally just this one. Do the other Canto dungeons require you to use the character? I don't remember that being a mechanic. It very well might be. I just like... It auto-uptied. Yeah, I know that it auto-uptied. I know that it also went... It got automatically boosted up to a certain level. I just, you know... I don't recall that being a requirement when I played previously. Boop, 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 boop.
작살, 놓치지 말게.
Canto 7 does the opposite. It makes it so you literally can't use them. If you use the character from Canto 7, you die in real life. We'll see if we can't beat this dog water Canto. This dungeon, you know, I always hop into the dungeons and I'm like, oh, it's cool, I've got an hour left, no big deal. I'll just blast through this Canto real quick, and then the Cantos take a billion years to finish, or the dungeons take a billion years to finish. I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm probably going to get as deep as I can into the dungeon. Probably, it depends on how long it takes me to get to floor 3. I'm gonna try to get to the 3rd floor in the dungeon, and we'll see where I'm at. If I've spent up most of an hour in each dungeon takes like 3 to 5 hours. Tap dancing, Christ. I hope you've been well since we conversed last. I see flowers bloom outside and the birds chirp every now and then. Though the scent of flowers spread as they like, they create a rather sweet smell once mingled in one place. I wonder if you have taken in such a smell. I was always worried about the gloom on Dongbaek's face, but the things she presents at the Illuminators Conference are relieving to see. They carry a certain joy with them. Can I take that as her way of indirectly expressing the smiles she couldn't make at us? Well, take it however you want. Yi-sang, what are you thinking? I just can't figure out what your face might mean. It makes me curious to know what's in your mind. Those who have brushed past until now asked that same question. However, as I did not possess the eloquence to utter a concise answer in words, and the matter itself was too wearisome and perplexing to clearly summarize, I would substitute my answer with a figurative blank sheet of paper. You know what that is. Nothing. In truth, it may not have been nothing. In truth, it may not have been... In truth, it may not have been nothing at all. I would feel a desire to scatter into the winds in lush blue, sensing the sway of seeds plunging into my scrawling mind. Well, how was my acting? Brother Young Ji was a man of kindness. He was not one to rashly harbor spite or reproach for others. You resemble him in that sense. Did you know in Canto 9, if you even think about losing a class, you get put in Concept Incinerator? That makes sense. Yeah. That means that my parents die too, right? Just making sure. I streamed them and they took that long. I mean, if you're like reading fast and you're pushing through the content, I imagine it goes a bit faster. I'm taking my sweet pimp time and I'm reading everything and I'm reading out loud, and you know, I make mistakes, I make jipes, and I also poke at chat, and chat pokes back. So, you know. It wouldn't surprise me at all if it took me quite a bit longer to finish. It's a reasonable thing to see where I'm at in a half hour, or like once I guess once I get to floor 2, I'll take a look at the timer or take a look at the clock and see where I'm at. But like generally speaking, I feel like my crew is pretty strong, so I feel like these combats don't take that long. We'll have to see how it feels moving along, but like I said, I'll just take it one step at a time. I figure that it's going to take me at least one more stream to finish this, which means today's Tuesday. I've got D&D tomorrow. Thursday is Disco Elysium stream, and then Friday. So yeah, I won't be able to finish Canto 4 until this Friday this week. And we're going to be jumping into the next Canto next week. A broken K-Corp drone is tumbling on the floor. I can only revive sinners where I can see the star. So in the meantime, we might be able to find an ampule if we search through it. Rummage through the drone. Gluttony advantage. Very high. Boop, boop. Nice fail, bozo. Nothing useful could be found. You take 10 damage. Rummage through the drone. Mr. Very High, you're screwed. Boop, boop. Nailed it. You take 10 HP damage and you'll get a small ampule. I imagine we're going to need these at some point. Allies under 40% HP. Okay, it's at the start of a turn and it's once per floor. And it's passive, so I can't really choose when it happens. Okay. You see, I called you this time because I've made something interesting that I'd like to show. Youngji, what is this? There are simply too many transient things that wilt all too soon, don't you think? The butterfly only wanted to lightly flutter, but to be punished with death for that crime, that felt too unfortunate. Did you bring it back from the dead? I thought that kind of technology was forbidden by the Heads Treaty.
아니요.
It is no such case. Although the carcass remains inanimate, something has overridden it. That's right. To be exact, it's the glass window. The butterfly can now be free within it. Even if its wings dampen while trying to cross a pond, are gripped in somebody's hands and crumble to dust, or dry out due to the lack of flowers, the butterfly won't stop. And eventually, in the distant future, it'll make it across the sea. If that happens... The nerd voices keep mixing together. If that happens, will the butterfly no longer be afraid of the sea? Splendid, Youngji. This level of technology could have numerous applications. Youngji, are you sure? You really made this just for the conference? What do you mean by that? A gathering where we show technology we've created as a hobby in our free time after returning from a day's work, sharing our thoughts? Wasn't that the significance and appeal of the Illuminators Conference and that our league had? But this, it doesn't look like a simple hobby horse to me. Are you still not over what happened then? That's how you see it, Dongbek. I'd like to know what you think as well, Yi-sang. As Dong Rang rightfully assessed, this is nothing short of a great first discovery. Alas, if frost were to form on the glass window, it will blur the reflected image all the same. As such, the frame of our glass window will need to be made firmer and straighter. Yi-sang, you managed to see through its essence from just a single glance, but personally I can't seem to think of a way. So, how about this instead? Yi-sang, try recreating it, in your own way. In my own way? That's right, by the next conference. Is it truly okay for me to handle a technology as valuable as the glass window? You've got it wrong. I'm making the suggestion because it's valuable. What I'm picking up is that the glass window is some kind of Twilight Zone technology that takes, like, maybe it's imagine it as like a photocopy, hang on a second. Imagine if you took like a teleporter from Star Trek. I'm gonna put this in in nerd terms that I think are pretty universal, but like imagine the Star Trek teleporter technology. You take a pattern of something and you dematerialize it, and then you use that pattern in the pattern buffer to rematerialize it somewhere else. In this case, you're taking the pattern and then you're putting it inside a space that is the window. And it's like a flash photocopy that doesn't know it's a flash photocopy that's inside of like maybe a pocket universe that's inside of this mirror. And then it just goes on existing in whatever way that it was existing before. So I think the like Twilight Zone vibe of this technology, as I understand it, we've just been introduced to this technology, but I think the way that they're using it in the mirrors upstairs is that they're using this technology to take flash photography of something that is in a state of suffering and flashing it into a permanent state of suffering. There's a Black Mirror episode that does this as well. But essentially, like, it takes a photocopy of a memory of a guy who's on, it's not the memory. It takes a photocopy, like a perfect copy of a guy's brain while he's in the moment of being electrocuted in the electric chair, and then creates like little copies of it. And every single copy that you have, as long as it's powered on, is like an instance of that guy's mind in the state of suffering of being electrocuted. But I think that the mirror is in a similar sense. I think the mirror is doing kind of something similar. So that's why when the eyeball looks at those, they're real people that are really like in like a pocket universe experiencing horrible suffering over and over and over and over again. And that's, the eye can feel that. The eye can feel that they're real and can sense their desperation and suffering. And that creates the tears. I think that's how it works. I'm just taking a wild guess. Somebody who has more knowledge on this particular singularity could probably throw it out and let me know. But that's what I'm reading while I'm reading this. That's what I'm picking up. I don't know how you're supposed to get that from the tiny little explanation. I'm using my imagination. Plus, you know, like horror media that I've experienced over the course of the years. A Twilight Zone has a bit of this. Black Mirror did it, like I said, and I swear there's something else that did something very similar. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up. Is like they take this technology and or they take this idea that's like a beautiful idea. It's like, oh, you can create, you know, something in a moment of beauty, and it forever gets to experience that moment of beauty, and it's this wonderful thing. But it's like it would take you 2.5 seconds to realize that like this could be used to horrible ends in the other direction. You can permanently extend something's suffering. Are these eggs? Please be careful. It might be an abnormality. Come to think of it, I was told the underground lab K-Corp set up was also managed eggs from L-Corp branch. Whoa, hey, is this thing twitching? As the sinner observed, an egg began to move. What do? Walk over to it and stand over top of the egg while it hatches open and touch the eggs. Oh, look at how wet it is. We're gonna touch the eggs. Considering our experiences with receiving gifts from abnormalities, we might be able to get something of help with exploring the dungeon here. I had no idea what it could be used for because I had nothing to grasp how this was different from a video. Well, they did kind of explain that it is like the butterfly, that it is like a copy of the butterfly, because they were like, whoa, what the hell is that? Is that like, it's obviously not just a video, because they're like, you know, if it was just like a YouTube video, it'd be like, you know, I think they would know. Yiseng seemed rather tired, but there wasn't anything off about the body as far as we could see. We left the place with the gem in our possession. Select identity loses 10 SP and piece of crumbled egg gift obtained. On the first turn of each encounter, gain 2 ego resources of a random affinity and possession. Pog. I think that in that particular picture it's hard to see, but I think what they're looking at is like a terrarium where the butterfly is moving around, and it's two-dimensional, but it looks like it's a terrarium. You know how when you look in a mirror, it's three-dimensional, and you can see like there are 3 dimensions you can see inside of a mirror. That's why like halls of mirrors can really fuck with your depth perception and your ability to see like what is in front of you because it has that dimensional element to it. I think what they're looking at here, we can't see it really because we're looking at, you know, hand-drawn art, but essentially I think what they're looking at is similar in that depth perception way of a mirror, and that's why it's like, whoa, what is that? Is that real? Because it's hard to tell from that position. It looks like the group was at peace. Things were good for a short while. It was as though we were on a trip. We thought everything would be fine after leaving our hometown for this new place, but alas, at the end of the day, human societies weren't so different from each other. Today, I saw something suspicious at the market. Now that intrigues me. What was it, Sanghyo? This invention, wasn't this your work for the League of Nine, Gapnyong? God damn it.
It is, but I mean, there's no need to scour the markets and all that, right? It's trust and faith that binds us together, isn't it?
You must have forgotten the League's 9 laws. LNL. Fascinating. Kyoshu, you aren't supposed to say things like that or I'm in the script.
Oh no. They made me memorize every word of it. You think I'll forget? No technology made within the League shall be distributed outside. Be particularly careful not to be tainted by the smell of money. Money. For a couple of quid. We've been told that all our property will be seized if we don't pay rent for the laboratory within the next 6 days. What are we supposed to do? We've got to do something about it. The more we earn in the factory, it will be better to keep us fed. We got here from Escort District taking nothing but passes and opinion research for us. Tell me how else we're going to pay rent.
That's a valid point. Taxes are higher. Oops. Taxes are heavier on us because we migrated from another district. They are demanding a fee we cannot afford to pay regularly. I can pay that, so I suggest we put this matter to rest. Wait, why haven't I been told about this before? Seized. Did you know all along, Youngji? I want to hear it from you directly. I understand that you're upset, but be mindful of what you say, brother Youngji. Dongbak. I'm fine, thank you. Dongbak, I was planning to tell you once it had been dealt with. I figured you'd be the first to get furious about matters concerning the League, and Yi Sang, while I sincerely appreciate your offer, I couldn't possibly take it. It bothers me not, for accumulating wealth has no meaning to me. I urge you to spend it for the League's sake. What? Wait, Yi Sang, were you that rich? You might want to do a better job at remembering your part, yes? The enemies will start attacking again, you know.
What? Who's fooling around like an old flared? It was easy to read the words on paper.
They didn't react much different than people seeing a video for the first time. Yeah, I know, but like, seeing a video for the first time would be like magic, right?
You got them moving pictures on the screen?
Yeah, the motion picture. I mean, like, imagine like that you're you know, you've never even seen a photograph, but you've never seen a photograph before, and then somebody comes at you, like, they hold up a bulb, they press a thing, a couple of like minutes later they walk up to you and it's you, and it's like a picture. Or maybe the first time that a human ever looked at themselves, looked at their reflection over a river or a lake. They might have thought that it was another person inside there. It's only a level of wonder that's associated with seeing something new for the first time. It's a novel kind of experience, right? But yeah, I'd say in this case, yeah, they might react to it like seeing a video for the first time, but like being the first person to have ever looked at a video before, it's pretty amazing, right? Also, it would be like looking into a mirror, but instead of seeing yourself in the reflection, you see something else. That would be, I think that would be strange. On that spring day, I made a small mirror. I named it Yeonsim. And I happened to catch a signal while turning out numerous noise and shatterings. In Yonsim, I met you at last. Myself, my left-handed self, beautiful and serene. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Yi Sang. Isn't it? What a peculiar experience this is. And that mirror you're holding, it's what I call Yonsim. To grind or study, to seek. This is a product of grinding something, scraping even the mind to polish it. I see. I suppose all versions of Yi Sang were dedicated to research. You have wings on your back, if my eyes aren't being deceitful. What do you think of them? Resplendent. They look quite warm and free. We looked into and ahead of each other. I only made minor modifications to Brother Youngji's work. I wanted to show a reflection of any possibility in its unvarnished image without a blur. The stars I saw while lying on the ground here seemed so far away. So I'm doing Honglu. I'm doing the wrong voice in Honglu. The stars I saw while lying on the ground here seemed so far away, yet it was possible to see them up close. Is this why I haven't been able to see you lately? To discover this? I thought you caved to your yearning for rice and went back to S-Corp's district. I'll say though, this isn't half bad. Dongrang, why are you laughing like that? It's just funny that you're talking so ferociously when your eyes are full of curious twinkles. Yi Sang, will you tell him to shut it? Why don't you first hide your facial reaction of a child who's tried ice cream for the first time? Gubo, why don't you say something? You've been part of the League for fairly long now, so stop standing around like a guest. What more do I have to add? Everyone already seems to be of one mind. If you're trying to be an odd one out, at least have some audacity. Some cold fish you are. I see, so this is how you view the world. The world I view, is it? Did you know? They say every invention carries hints of the hopes and dreams of its inventor. Discovering them is one of the spectator's joy. It's a tidbit that's good to know. So Yi Sang, what do you plan to do with this technology? Do what exactly? Brother Youngji's glass window is already making the rounds. Researchers from other nests have taken an interest, or so I've heard. Really, we rarely saw visitors in the past, but now we might have to start punching tickets so all the people will stand in line. So if you announce your work here, Dongrang, I have absolutely no intention of announcing this. None? At all? All that I ask is to keep this as a moment of laughter, solely between us. Look, just what is your idea of Yi Sang? That was the second funniest moment I've seen out of you. The first is, you know, when the yellow calf was being fed milk and it suddenly licked his hair. True, I've never seen Dongbak laugh as loudly as back then. That, I think we best forget. Human eyes are such glistening and scalding things. Fearing that they would burn me, I tended to watch them from the side. However, not seeing the subject straightly does not mean I think lowly of them. Even without looking, it is possible to see thin. By the way, is that the same as the mirror we use? Similar. To be exact, Limbus Company uses a mirror with special modifications. You invented something incredible, Yi Sang. What Young Ji and I did was invention. We discovered, rather. T-Corp wouldn't have been pleased with the idea of a technology capable of peeking into other worlds without permission. I do believe you know well enough that their problem lies with the lack of permission, not the capability of the technology. Although we had figured that, we thought it would be fine since it was only used as a pastime between us. The decision couldn't have been more glib. You're almost as good as Yang. Now, I have win rate killed this thing before, because I do mirror dungeons. So I think the original invention is like what I was describing, like a flash of someone or something that you've seen kind of captured in a mirror. And I think Yi Sang's modification to it has made it so that they're able to see into... What is it? It's like that thing from Rick and Morty, where it's the glasses that they put on in like episode 3 or episode 4. I can't remember. The one where Rick fucks up the world. Again. The one where he does the praying mantis DNA gobbledygook thing. And he's got the goggles that he puts on, and he searches for another universe, but he's looking out of the eyes of an alternate dimension or an alternate universe Rick, essentially. I think that this is kind of like that, but the mirror allows them to see each other and communicate rather than just being able to see out of the eyes of one other person. If that makes sense, I think that's what the mirror is doing. And I think that the way that Limbus Company is using it, because this technology is what Limbus Company is using. This is the technology that allows them to take the essential elements that makes like Otis into Mama Middle Finger Otis. You're saying you don't understand, I'm sorry, could you phrase that differently? I guess I didn't understand why the window was needed for the eye. Oh, you're talking about the eyeball. So it always seemed like a video would do. Well, I think the reason that the window is needed for the eye is because the window is like real. I think the eye knows when it's a real thing or when it's a video. I think the window is like the true essence. It's not just like Clockwork Orange where you're showing them videos of like bad shit, right? Like you're not just showing them bad videos. You're like showing it suffering, like true suffering, and it needs to be real. It has to be real, true suffering. So I think that's why the like I don't know if it's as deep as a singularity, but that's why the mirror technology, like singularity level technology, is necessary in order to get the eye to produce more tears, because you need it to be real. You thought they were being philosophical when they talked about the butterfly not fearing the sea. I think it's literal. And they were saying that it's possible. Like the butterfly given enough time, would the butterfly ever be able to eventually fly far enough to make it all the way across the sea? And if the butterfly is perfectly trapped in that moment while it's flying across the sea and it continues to flutter over and over and over again, eventually, given enough time, it makes it across the sea. I'm working with the same I mean, you guys are watching the stream, like you're working with the same information that I have up until this point. So I'm just taking pop shots in the dark, but to me, up until this point, it's made sense to me in this way that I'm explaining. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that's real life. I don't know if it's further explained later, or if it's up to interpretation. I get the sense that the writers of this game are stoked about things being left up to interpretation. I think that it seems reasonable that that's something they would do. What are you doing for Pride Month, Fatal? Oh shit, we're not done here? I thought that was the end. That was a optional mini-boss. I don't like that when the subject is technology. What do you mean? Left open to interpretation, but the subject is technology? Welcome to Project Moon, I guess. I don't know. I feel like that's like my introduction to this was like a lot of weird ass technology that I didn't understand that gets explained to me in metaphors. And that is Library, that's Limbus Company. Up until this point, that's Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Ruina all had very similar kind of like, you know, very similar kind of through lines for how they explain their technology. It's quiet. Nothing like the outskirts. You're right. Was the world beyond the outskirts one filled with such beautiful and tranquil beings? You don't remember what at all? We've been here the whole time, Fatal. You've watched most of my streams, I think, up until this point. So, like, I feel like Lobotomy Corporation's a lot of its technology gets explained over time in a really roundabout and metaphorical way. I think this technology is not necessarily being explained. Oh, the Limbus one? You don't remember what? The mirror thing? The thing that we're talking about right now? It's happening right now. It's happening right now. You blacked out Canto 4. Canto 4 did so much psychic damage to you by making you do all these stupid fights that you blacked it all out and you were irritated, just clicked through it. Maybe that's what happened. Right. Do you by any chance know a story about the things beyond the outskirts? It said there's a thing that lives there, granting wishes to those who are earnest. Want to hear it? Sure. I always look forward to your stories. Can it wait just a moment? I saw something very nice over there. When we looked up at our sky, all we see is a pinch of muddled light. But there, I can see lone stars looking down at us. Since the city I can see from here is filled with cries of pain and despair, I'd rather gaze down at people from the loneliness up in the sky and shed tears with them. Be careful what you wish for, dumbass. Sorry, I was a bit late. There were flowers I'd never seen before. Maybe we could smell them as I tell my story. I see. Have you finally fulfilled your wish? Starting today, even if the handful of stars doesn't rise in a corner of the night sky, those stars will light the dark of the land below instead. So, it'll all be okay. You all just saw what happened, right? Because Putty, you asked before, like, where did the eye come from? We just saw where the eye came from. Unknown boy. That's the eye. Here's the eye right here. I saw something nice over there. When we look up at our sky, all we see is a pinch of muddled light. But here, I can see lone stars looking down at us. Since the city I can see from here is filled with cries of pain and despair. So, well, I'm rereading it, so pay attention. I can see lone stars in the sky looking down at us. Since the city I can see from here is filled with cries of pain and despair, I would rather gaze down at people from the loneliness up in the sky and shed tears with them. He just made a wish. He just made a wish. They did that whole thing where you're making wishes to the stars and making a wish to the star His wish was to be that giant eyeball that looks down from the sky on the city and cries. That, like, what do you mean those words mean nothing? That's exactly, that's, and then Stephanette comes back and says, sorry, I was a bit late. And she's like, oh, wait, he's gone. I see. Have you finally fulfilled your wish? Boom. What was that just now? It felt like a story from long ago. The kids book. All will be explained. Aren't you glad you're here? You're getting the story. The whole story. Minus the brain damage. Because I'm the one who's suffering the brain damage as we push through this. I'd rather doesn't register. Oh my god. You're getting caught up in semantics. The eldritch entities in the sky that are granting wishes. It's the monkey's paw thing. As the golden bow generated the fathoms of ego in a frenzy, foreign matters were mixed into them. K-Corp's singularity, tears of the so-called tearful thing.
그래.
I can sure see that. It's bringing back dead people to fight us. Yes, they seem to be relevant to the experience of melting down. Did the mind of that tearful thing melt into this resonance as well then? That means the tearful thing is no different from people. Dante, in this world, there are many who seek after stars. It's not semantics if I don't get it. That's fair. Well, I mean, like, it does, like, that makes more sense now, though, right? That makes more sense now to you, though? Because like you were saying, like, you don't, like, what the fuck is that eye? I still don't understand it. And now you have a good idea of, like, the eye, and you have a good idea of the mirror. As I understand it, I'm pretty sure I have a solid grasp on all of the things that I've been exposed to up until this point in this canto. The area twisted and the cabinet appeared from it. You see some items in its drawers. Take a closer look. When you look closer, you can almost see something else in there. A sinner with keen eyes might be able to make something good. Might be able to get something good. Why does that pride advantage? Show us how it's done, Mama Otis. Soon afterward, the area began to blur and the cabinet disappeared. Many objects appeared in the hidden compartment. They might be useful for the coming encounters. What should we take? The drawer on the second row, fifth column, an ego gift, and alright, whatever. The middle one. Sharp illusion. Pride skills deal plus 10 damage. We don't have any pride skills. Perfect. Let's go. It makes some sense. I feel like it just relies on childhood story logic. A lot of this game relies on childhood story logic. Magic and wishes and rainbows and despair and depression and anxiety all manifesting themselves in different ways to make things that would otherwise be impossible possible somehow. That's like the singularities. You have at least 2 pride skills. Yeah, I know. I mean, like, I was being facetious, but how are you doing today, Gremlin? The space has changed. Where was this place? What are you talking about, Aang? This is the road we would traverse all the time. Oh, right. This was the place of my day's profession, or the avenue nearby. You researched by night and during day? I was an architect. Oh, an architect, huh? That's a neat occupation you had, Yusang. Neat, you say. Originally, children used to run in these streets. Although there weren't many, they came into my view on occasion. Even a single abandoned ball could keep a smile on their faces. I am vastly fond of youths as well. Are they not the most innocent beings? But they're nowhere to be seen now. Where could they have gone? Once children are old enough to learn language, they're taken to factories. Among them are those those factories whose architecture I designed with my hands. Yi sang. They were optimized for efficiently monitoring people. It made pressing laborers more convenient than ever. Perhaps the reason my income has been rather high is that the owners of those buildings run a profitable business.
Well, even so, it's not like you spent all that money to show off. You gave it all for the league.
Do you remember the first thing I invented after getting a job at T-Corp? The identification tags, right? Yeah, I made them to help lost kids. It's absurd, I know. Maybe I expected it to help more children reunite with their parents, but now they're being used to monitor the workers' time spent on the job in every factory. You have to think of the shareholders. Heck, I made those things. And even I'm not free from the obligation to wear one while working. Those were the kinds of achievements we accomplished in T-Corp's district, which is why I became more engrossed in the mirror. Unattained, unadulterated, I wish to immerse myself in the pure exploration of knowledge, so that I wouldn't have to take anything from anyone. You knew you'd face those predicaments since the moment you made your way from T-Corp territory, avoiding exploitation and abuse, haven't you, Yi Sang? That you'd have to exploit others if you don't want to be. So don't feel guilty about it. The Yi Sang southern twang is absolutely delightful. It's making this canto like super tolerable for me. We've been here for what seems like forever, but like genuinely all of the story content where Yi Sang, I get to do the Yi Sang twang, is making it for me. I'm enjoying it very, very much. I do understand, like, if they tried to just story dump, because there's been a lot of story, I think, a pretty decent amount of story, and it's all obfuscated, or not obfuscated, but it's all led into by a different series of antagonist events. So we're like jumping back and forth from area to area and engaging in combat and bits of story that are involving different parties, so it's got to move all these, you've got all these moving parts happening. I think they just put too many battles between them, and to give credit to the developers, like they did put a skip mechanic in for most of that shit eventually, but up until this point, you know, I don't want to skip. I'm trying not to skip content. I just feel like I kind of get why they did it this way. If they had just dumped all of the story out one after the other with as many fights as we've seen in previous Cantos, I think people would have probably gotten overwhelmed by the sheer amount of story content that just keeps on rolling out. But yeah, we're definitely going to get to the end of this. We're going to get to the end of this section here, to where we're about to move down into the next area, and then we're going to call it a stream, because this floor is huge. This dungeon floor is massive. I did not expect it to be this large, but you know, fourth Canto, I think they're kind of like, their domain expanding. They're giving us a lot more. I don't know. I want to use the word content, but that's not right. They're giving us a lot more nodes within a given chapter. The wooden doll stopped in place as if nothing was happening. Its head was tilted slightly downward, like it was examining talismans, or perhaps it could have been looking at the sinner's talismans. As if possessed, the sinners began to walk towards the wooden doll. It was like they forgot they were fighting just moments ago, and they started removing the talismans entangled on their bodies. Just what could be going on? Oh, check failed. Sinclair gathered the detachable talismans and stood before the wooden doll. It creaked a little bit, then stretched a hand at Sinclair. Thinking it to retrieve the talisman, Sinclair handed over the stack. Ah, the wooden hand changed its trajectory and touched the sinner's body. At that moment, all the talismans on Sinclair began writhing before melting into sticky blood. That doesn't bode well, does it? All entangled cursed talismans removed from Sinclair.
안 될 줄 알았는데.
Okay.
거긴 K존이다.
I'll have you know, I also have a whole essay of complaints with the Heathcliff chapter that everyone glazes. I mean, so far, this chapter, this Canto, this chapter's main problem for me has been how many fights and how much enkaphalin it takes to clear the chapter. If I were not me, if I were somebody else, and I wanted to just go through and skip through it, I could understand that it wouldn't be that bad and that complaint can be nullified by doing that. But I am me, and I'm playing through the playing through the fights the way that I am, so, you know, get fucked, I guess. But yeah, I've got general complaints all over the place. You know, it's one of the things that I do when I play these games, if you've been watching it for any length of time, is I pick them apart and then at the end I praise them for the things that I think they did good. But like, yeah, I have a lot of complaints that are structural about this game. A lot of complaints that are structural about this game. But so far, most of the stories have been pretty good. I've enjoyed most of the stories. And there is floor 2. It's been real. It's been fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's always a delight. There's the Discord. We play video games on the Discord and hang out. I'll probably be on there after stream to play some video games. Come hang out. Come say hi. Tomorrow we're off because I've got D&D tomorrow, and then Thursday is the day after tomorrow for me. Is going to be more Disco Elysium. I'm stoked for more Disco Elysium. I can't wait. Gay stream. Gay. They're always gay. I mean, if I'm present on the stream is inherently gay, right? So anyway, we're gonna do a Disco Elysium and see how gay that game gets. I'm gay for Kim Kusanagi. Gotta say that he's my goat. He's my muse. He's my sweet cherub floating over my shoulder and speaking God's logic into my ear. He's delightful. I love that character. Anyway, we're gonna be back with Disco Elysium on the day after tomorrow, and then on Friday, the end of the week for me, we're gonna be doing more Canto 4, probably finishing out Canto 4, and then we're gonna hop back in next week. Yeah, next week I'll be here. No, wait, shit. I think we'll talk about it later. I think I'm going to Osaka, but I think that's the week after next. I think. No, shit, that's next week. I'm going to Osaka next week. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to you guys about it on Friday. You guys have an awesome night, sweet dreams, and all that wonderful stuff. And again, thanks for hanging out. Toodles.